And we are live. What's going on, everyone? It's Dan Williams here, and today we'll be doing a Thomas movie / special ranking live stream, which is actually the first stream of 2021. And today, I'm not doing it alone. We have Stitch Underground and Spiderfan2003. They're right here on my phone on Discord.
Hello.
Okay, so let's get.
They should probably make sure if they can hear us first, because it's from the phone. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Can you hear them? Mind block. Yep. They can hear you. Okay.
Hi. Train fans here, and so is Mind Block's cool.
Oh wow.
All right.
Okay, let's get started. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna be like going from best to worst or worst to best, because there was a lot of movies and specials. So I'm just gonna go from like I'm just gonna go like in order from like if I say like Magic Road, if I say is it amazing, is it good, is it decent, is it meh, or is it bad? So that's what I'm gonna say. So
yeah, don't have to say that the whole time. You're just gonna say that one sentence every single time.
All right, so let's get started. So the first movie, we have Thomas and the Magic Road, and I give this amazing. I'm like, this is actually those times that I've learned more about Thomas, and I really love this movie. And I don't care if this was a box office failure. I don't care. Sure. I do wish that Bill Crawford would fix a few things, like put Edward in the movie, give the Thomas characters more screen time, since it's a Thomas movie. I do love Diesel 10 was a great villain in this movie, and Neil Crone did a magnificent job. And no one can beat Neil Crone. No one can ever beat his wonderful voice. He's funny. Like, not only he's evil, but a bully, he's also really funny. So I'm all right. And so the voice acting was great, except for James. Splat and Dodge were funny. Splat and Dodge were funny characters. Junior is the number one funniest character in this movie. Actually, here's a fact. In my remake, Stitch Underground voiced Junior in my remake. So
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, perfect. Feel free to check out my remake, and you'll hear Stitch Underground's funny Junior voice. But yeah, this was a great film. That was my childhood, and my rest in peace, Pierre Fonda, the Burnett Stone, rest, and Michelangelo was originally going to be the voice of James, which he should. I don't know what those test arms were thinking, but yeah, rest in peace, Michelangelo. Rest in peace, Doug Lennox, who was P.T. Boomer. But yeah, it was and also who's the guy that played as Billy in the movie?
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he died too, so rest in peace him. But yeah, I love Al Baldwin as Mr. Conductor. He's actually one of my favorite Mr. Conductor actors. My number one favorite is George Carlin. Lady was good, even though she didn't speak that much in the film. But yeah, overall, I love the Release Ranger music in this one. I love all the music. I love the Shining Time. I love the Locomotion. I know how the moon must feel, and it was great. So but yeah, I give this film a 10 out of 10. Stitch, Matt, you have anything to say?
Matt can go first. I'll go next. Okay, well, my opinion's going to be drastically different here. I don't care about this movie. I want to care about this movie, and I have tried, but I don't know. This movie just never spoke to me. Yeah, it's kind of unique taste when you look at it.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, this movie did not get me into Thomas. Like, I've been into Thomas, like, fully for, like, 2 years straight by the point I saw the film, so...
Right. Okay.
And honestly, I don't really find any of the human characters besides the conductors very entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides Henry and Toby, I'm not really big on, like, the main six's voices. Okay. Like, I don't like Eddie Glynn as Thomas. I really wish they kept John Bellis. And I don't like Percy and James's voices, but that's just me.
How come you didn't like Eddie Glenn's?
I don't know. He just sounds like an old man trying to stay young, but that's just me. I don't know. He just doesn't sound like Thomas to me.
Okay.
What about anything you like about the film, Matt? Yeah, there's a few things. Oh, yeah, there's definitely things I like. I like how it's made. Like, I like how the film looks. Any scene with Alec Baldwin in this film is actually pretty funny and entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. I like Diesel as an entertaining character. Let's see. I like the music.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And there's a few other things, but they're a little more minor.
Right.
Yeah, but overall, I'm just pretty. I don't despise the film, but it's just always just kind of just been there. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, actually, here's a question. Why do they call Diesel 10 Diesel?
They never explain. There's rumors the reason just called him Diesel 10. The reason they kind of just called him Diesel 10 is because he's the 10th Diesel in the series. Like, apparently it's been a fact. That's why they call him Diesel 10. I don't know why. It's just fact.
You're right. So, Stitch, anything to say?
There's a lot for me to say. For those of you who don't know, I love this movie. It's my favorite Thomas film. Like, I can admit, it's definitely not the best, not at all. But there's so much I love about the movie. Like, for those of you who don't know, the first concept I watched was James Goes Buzz Buzz, and a few episodes here and there. But what really got me to the show was Thomas and the Magic Railroad, because it you know how a lot of people, when they go to the movies as they're a kid and they watch this grand movie like Star Wars, Jurassic Park, and they said that was my Hollywood movie. That's what the Magic Railroad is to me. Like the voice acting, besides James here and there, I love. Diesel 10, my favorite villain. The music, beautiful. All the train scenes really good. Like even the acting, well, yes, it's all over the place. Like I love it. Like I love Baldwin. I love Michael E. Rogers. Like even Ma Wilson, you can tell she's trying. And Peter Fonda, you can tell he's all in the role. And just everyone does a great job. But it's a really entertaining film, and it's also just been a film that stuck with me for years and years. And I can admit, it's definitely not like the best ever made, but I just love the film, and it's just been such a big part of my childhood. And it's thanks to the movie I'm the Thomas fan I am today. I mean, I kind of steal Thomas's catchphrase of little engines, handy big things, because that kind of sticks with me a lot. So, because I don't know, that saying has always helped me get through so much as a kid.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not the greatest film ever, but I friggin' love it. And excuse my language, but I really love it. I really do. And I always will, minus the flaws. And it has my favorite movie scene of all time, this Mount the Shed scene. I don't know why. I just love that scene so much. And the same for Eddie Glynn. Like, I understand what Matt is saying. I don't know. When I hear his voice, I just hear Thomas. John Bellis. Like, good job. Really good job. But I honestly didn't hear Tom's. I honestly think he would have been a better choice for Toby, to be honest.
Right.
But anyway, overall, I love the movie, but I can admit it's not great, but I love it. But I'm going to give it a 7.6.
Yeah, I mean, first off, the chasing was freaking cool. Not going to lie. The original voice actors, now Michelangelo shouldn't have been the voice of James in that movie, but because of the stupid test audience, they decided to not be put a female. Percy is decent because he's the youngest member. Yeah. Diesel 10, Keith Scott he was good. And here's a fact. When Neil Crone was in it, he was good. He did a Russian accent, but it was too offensive.
That's right.
what would you think? Like, what would you think of how like would you still like Diesel 10 if Neil Cohn did the Russian accent, or do you think it would still be like, or do you think the New York accent would be better?
Dude, I think the New York accent's better because it just really sounds like Diesel 10. Like, I mean, not saying Neil Cohn didn't enjoy doing it. I know he did for a fact. He said in an interview a long time ago he did. But the Russian accent, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like right to Diesel 10. But hearing the New York accent, it just feels, if you kind of hear both performances, the New York accent kind of feels not only more natural to Diesel 10, but it also kind of feels like there's more energy to the character.
Right.
So, and you can tell Neil Cohn is having the time of his life voicing Diesel 10.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He said he loved the voice. So, I just think the New York voice just fits the character more. I can't describe why. I just feel like it does. I mean, Keith Scott, he did a good voice with Diesel 10, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when I was watching the director's cut, which, yes, I saw when it first came out soon, when I saw it, I didn't mind his voice, but I didn't hear Diesel 10. I just heard just this generic diesel engine, to be honest. It's nothing against Keith Scott, not at all. I bet he's a really good guy, and I bet he's a great voice actor, but I just couldn't care for him. So
yeah, I mean, the original voice actors were decent. I mean, Michael Andrews was great as James, but whatever.
One thing they should have done is they should have kept Michael Andrews as James, but keep the lady who played Percy.
Yeah, she was
Sarah
good.
Something.
Yeah. But yeah, Metro was in my opinion, Metro was a wonderful film. That's my number one favorite Thomas film of all times, and yeah. So now for the next film, special. It's Calling All Engines, and I give this film a meh. I mean, the only reason I watched this film is because when I saw the trailer and I saw Diesel 10 and I was like, oh yes, I'm definitely gonna watch this. But then after seeing it, I lost all my excitement. So because let me tell you about the good stuff. The good stuff is I'm happy that Diesel 10 didn't come back in a good way. But I did like Lady. I did like how Lady was back in the film, but like as a cameo. But that's all that matters. I do like the message in this one about steamies and diesels being together. They're all really useful. The music was great. I love the together music. That's my favorite music in this. Now there was a different song in the bonus features. It was the Dream song. That one was that was dark.
I never liked that song. I never have.
It was dark. Like the way it ended, how it's just like talking about how the engines would be no more. Like that was so dark. So
I gotta watch
that. Michael Brandon was good in this film. He did a good narrating in it. Actually, he's always been a good narrator. So
yeah.
So now here's the bad stuff. One, I did not like Thomas in this one. Thomas was he's not cheeky. He was being more of an a-hole, like a racist a-hole. And oh yeah, just so you know, you guys can cuss in here, but you just don't say don't.
No. I'll keep it PG.
Yeah, don't say, but just don't. just don't say the F word or the DICK word. That's all.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, Thomas was I did not like Thomas in this one. Diesel, oh my god, Diesel 10. I was so disappointed. I mean, like Diesel 10, when he decided to help Thomas, I was like, what? Why? Like, why do you want to help Thomas after what he did to you in Magic Rail? You want to help him? And you hate the steam engines. You hate the steam engines so freaking much, and you want to kill them. So why? I don't know. I mean, like the Neil Cohn Diesel 10 would never help Thomas. Actually,
I think it goes given though, dude, that because they really wanted to keep far away from Magic Rail as possible, even if they did bring back Lady and Diesel 10 and almost Splatter and Dodge, I think it kind of makes sense they want to try their own thing and keep far away from Magic Rail and just do their own thing, which I understand and I appreciate what they did, but they just shouldn't have done it with these characters.
Right.
All they needed to make more toys of them somehow.
Exactly. But
That's the only reason they're even in the film, actually.
Oh,
It's literally
gosh.
toys.
That's right.
Oh gosh, he was terrible. Let me tell you something. I never liked Emily in the Hit Entertainment series. And same thing. And then I like her in Cardinal Legends. She's been a bossy son of a bee. But yeah, didn't like Emily. Percy, like the other members, like Percy, Gordon, and James, they were fine. Diesel.
Barely in the movie.
Yeah.
Toby wasn't even in the film.
He is. He just mentioned it once.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't even speak.
Yeah. Toby. Well, not Toby. What's his name? Diesel. Well, Diesel has always been a jerk and kind of devious sometimes, but so I'm not gonna say anything about Diesel because Diesel's always been this way.
Diesel actually didn't do anything bad in the movie.
Well,
I like in the film, to be honest.
Well, he did. Well, actually, you know that fight scene between the steam engine and the diesel engines when after Diesel 10 got paint all over Thomas, and then we had that fight scene. I was like, oh yeah, here we go. Like round one, fight, and then went that for some reason I laughed.
30 seconds of entertainment and then back to boring stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. It was a little boring. I mean, yeah.
If I just make it here, and that's the best way to describe Cardinal Engine. It's boring.
Right. Yeah, it is. But like I said, good message, good music. But just bad characters. But I think the only best part about this film, aside from the music and the message, I would say the fight scene between the steam engines and diesel engines, because that was funny and actually a cool. Like we've never seen steam engines fight before, or like in trains fight. But seeing Thomas biffing Airy into the gravel, or Airy like pushing James into the coal, like that was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I give this film like a 5 out of 10.
Would you mind if I go next, Matt? Because I know you have stuff to say.
I want to go last for this one, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know you have stuff to say. I'm going to do a little bit of shameless plug in here. If you guys haven't seen my review, you would know that as a kid, I loved this film, and I still do, but I can admit it's not the movie I remember it being. What's actually funny is, for those of you who don't know, last year, man, I watched all the Thomas films, and for the first time ever, I fell asleep while watching something on the computer, and that woke me up and scared the crap out of me. And this was at the part where Thomas was arriving at the docks. We're trying to get the new bridge, and it was so weird because I've never fallen asleep while watching a Thomas film, and even if I didn't like the film, because sometimes I just hate myself, JK. But basically, I've never done that before. So when it came to reviewing the movie, I really, really realized myself, my God, this movie's not what I remember it being. Because I kid you not, there was a time when I was more obsessed with Cardinal Engines than Magic Railroad, and I just loved the film. Like, I got the video game when it came out on the Leapstiff. Good points for anyone who remembers that. And I collected the toys. I loved the songs. Like, it was just a great time. And just in general, the movie, it's freaking boring. Like, yeah. I mean, I'll say this, like, I actually prefer Thomas in this movie than doing Miss Island Rescue. In Miss Island Rescue, he's just a racist idiot.
Okay, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, it's not really bad for one scene in this movie. It's kind of like the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's kind of been the whole thing of Thomas. Like, if we kind of notice, besides Rusty and Boko and Daisy, the endings have kind of been just racist to Diesels and Diesels racist to Steamies. And this movie kind of really shows that. And I think it's a good idea, but they didn't do it well.
They didn't establish it well.
Yeah. And besides that, I mean, the movie does look good, but the learning segments, my God, I hate those.
Oh, don't get me started with those. The only reason I hate those. I hate them. Yeah. Don't get me started with those.
I mean, they're half the movie too. You cut them out, and the movie's like 30 minutes long.
I had to skip all of them.
And besides that, I don't mind. Besides Emily, I also don't mind the characters. Like, again, I prefer Thomas here than I do in Misty Island. Besides that, though, the movie looks nice. I love the songs. It really pisses me off how we did not get the this movie on a CD, because Great Discovery did, but here we didn't, and I just love the songs here.
Right.
Besides that, the toys were amazing. The story I do like the story, but it's just boring. The airport idea, cool, but took Fat Hat long enough to make one. And this movie, it's boring. There's like so many flaws, but there's good things. Like I love the music. I like a few of the characters. I really like Diesel in this film, and I guess I should talk. Lady, I mean, it didn't need to be added, but it was kind of cool. And seeing Rusty season 4 model, that was pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
And again, the music was good. Like the songs were good, and the message. I love the message. And there's Diesel 10, and okay, I'll say it right now. I don't mind. I don't like what they do with Diesel 10 in here, but because Diesel 10 is my favorite Thomas character, I love him more than Thomas actually. I will say I hate what they do with him here, but when I see him on screen, it makes me happy to see him. But at the back of my mind, I am a little upset at what the hell they did with them. Which is funny, like the reason I picked the film up in the first place, because I saw Diesel 10 on the box art, and I was just so excited.
Same.
When you look at the film, when you look at the movie, like he's only in it for like 2 minutes, if that, not even. And I like Diesel. I don't like what they do with him, but seeing him on screen really makes me happy.
Yeah.
But just in general, it's really dumb. And if those of you, I know Aaron and Matt have noticed this, because I told them. Anyone in the chat, has anyone noticed that when Pinchy kind of moves really jittery in the film instead of how smooth he was in Magic Railroad? Like, I swear to God, Pinchy was broken when they were filming this. But besides that, I like the film, and they should have just cut Toby. Like, my God, Toby did nothing. So, besides that, the fight scene was cool, and the engines having their nightmares. So that was kind of a cool idea, but overall, I don't hate this film. I don't love it, but I still have nostalgia to it because it was like a special moment for me as a kid. But besides that, I give it like a 5, a 4. So okay. I give it a 4.5.
Yeah. Matt, anything to say?
But yeah, here we go.
Okay,
I hate this film.
I hate this movie with a belt for a reason. I hate this movie. I hate everything this movie stands for. First of all, why is this the 60th anniversary special?
Oh, jeez.
What's so special about this movie?
Right.
Yeah, this was marketed as that. This was hardcore marketed as that. And I
it
mean,
was a waste. It was a waste of that kind of years. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, it was meant to celebrate Thomas's 60th anniversary. How does this celebrate that? It doesn't.
It just says,
this is just like a generic season 8 episode, just stretched out to an hour.
It's kind of funny. They could have actually made this episode into like an 8-minute episode and kind of took out a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah, you can take out a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Unless, like, I mean, at least with Magic Road, I mean, actually, it was like, yeah, it was like in the what was it? The So wait, what was this? Wow, what was this movie to celebrate? Like, what year was it? The
60 years of
right. So in 2000 when Magic Road came out, it was when it was like, so what was it, like
5 years?
Yeah. So at least
that wasn't marketed as such, so I'm less mad about that. But Colonial Engine specifically on the DVD says 60th anniversary.
That's bull.
Yeah.
That's bull.
It is.
Imagine if Audrey saw this, he would just fall asleep and be like, man.
What's actually kind of funny, if I just may say, I actually kind of feel like, for those of you who don't know, Midnight Rescue is to celebrate the 65. It was the anniversary.
It doesn't have that on the box, so I'm not that mad.
No, I know that, but I actually think Misty Island did a better job of doing being an anniversary thing than freaking Congo Engine. At least Misty Island actually had some good entertainment.
Yeah, Colonial Engines is just boring throughout, and I feel like my whole life force is drained every time I watch this movie. Like, every time I watch this, I'm like, I can't do anything.
It doesn't help that you force yourself to watch it because you hate yourself.
last year. I watched it like 5 times, and I hated it.
Right. But yeah.
I really didn't. Also, what was the point of putting like Derek and Daisy in this movie?
Exactly. Well, because for the learning segments, you know how they would be mentioning her about who can carry the passengers or the workmen.
Literally had like Diesel carry coaches. Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
I wonder if his face is even on him. I swear it's not. I swear.
No, it isn't.
But
yeah, and like. This movie is just so uninteresting. Nothing happens.
It is, right.
Like, I feel like Thomas is the one who starts this whole conflict to begin with. Like, he is.
Yeah, he did.
He is.
I'll be right back.
Horrible. Like, they're bullying him a little, but it's like, the best way to deal with a bully is to kind of ignore it or tell someone. Yeah. I mean, so decides to go head in and just screw him over.
I don't mind Thomas playing tricks on the engine, but these tricks are kind of a little too major, even for Thomas.
It's like he knows work has to get done. Usually he does it.
Yeah,
it makes no sense for him to just destroy Arian Burke's work. Like, hi, you can't do it now.
So I think they were trying to make him cheeky, which that is not cheeky. That's not the cheeky Thomas. That's more like
it's dumb.
It's Thomas being a jerk, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Diesel didn't even do anything at the beginning. He's just like, don't mess with me.
I heard you've been making trouble with Arian Burt, but you won't make trouble for me. I have a very important job to do.
Thomas had another cheeky idea.
Yeah, right. Cheeky idea. Cheeky idea in my butt right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this film was... Go ahead.
Yeah, you can move on to the next one.
Yeah, so yeah.
I can talk more, but I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
The movie's not it's simple.
Yeah, the movie was a film.
My least favorite Thomas film.
Right. Now we get to the film which got me even a little more happier after Carnal Legends, which was The Great Discovery. And I say this film, I give it a good, because you know what? I love Pierce Brosnan. He was a good narrator. I love Stan Lee in this movie. The song, I love Thomas, You're the Leader. That was the greatest song. That's my favorite Thomas song of all times, hands down. I just love I do love the mine scene when Thomas was chasing the freight car and then he lands on water. And then that was cool. I do love. Now, thank God that the learning segments were only at the ending. I mean, the learning segments were okay. I mean, at least they were better than Carnal Legends, but
they're not in this film, so.
But overall, yeah, this was a good film. I like Pierce Brosnan. I wouldn't say this film is a roller coaster ride of a movie. I wouldn't say that.
No.
I would say more. Yeah. I mean, technically, this movie is about Thomas who discovers Great Waterton. Then he gets jealous about Stanley getting all the attention when he comes, and then he screws things. He screwed things up. Then he gets lost.
Yeah.
That's what. So I wouldn't say it's kind of. I mean, it is a great discovery, but I think it went low on that a little bit. It just focused more on Thomas being jealous with Stanley. So.
Yeah. Overall, you like the movie?
Yeah, it was a good movie. It's a movie that I do watch over and over again. I do have the action canon. It's at my father. Yeah, it's at my father's house. So I don't know when I'm gonna get that.
I need to buy that set.
Yeah, the bridge is messed up. I mean, the bridge is fine, but I can't collapse it. Like, you know how there's like a button where you press it and the bridge goes down.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Like it just gets stuck. It won't collapse.
I see.
But yeah, good film.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys could go. Go ahead.
Do you want to go, Matt, or should I go?
I don't care.
Okay. God, Great Discovery. I haven't seen this movie since last year. Okay. Well, the movie looks beautiful. The idea of Ray Walton, I think, is really well done. Kind of wish we kind of knew more about his history because it kind of takes a back seat in the story, to be honest, when you think about it after Stanley comes. But regardless, Stanley was really cool. I like especially his design, really well done. Like his personality. Music, again, was amazing. I freaking love it. The action scenes, really well done. I really like Duncan in this film. Duncan was cool. I kind of got Toy Story vibes from this movie because the whole Woody and Buzz thing and Thomas and Stanley thing being jazz. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Again, the songs were great. Tom Cheddarhead, I love that song. The mine scene, really well done. How they filmed that, I don't know how, but I really wish they were behind the scenes on it.
Oh yeah.
But just in general, it was a really good film, and it's funny you mentioned the learning segments. What's actually funny is on this DVD of special features, and you can watch them. When I first watched the movie, they played with the movie. But when I watched the movie over and over again, they wouldn't play. So I don't know if the disc was messed up or what. But I honestly couldn't care because I didn't like those. But just in general, the movie's really good. Like, it's definitely not a roller coaster of a ride, but I would say it's good. Like, I'd say I'd give it like a 5.6. So not my favorite, but yeah, I think it should have ended the Marvel series, to be honest.
I gave it a 8 out of 10.
Okay. Well, what do you have to say, Matt?
Yep.
I actually really like this movie. It's easily my favorite of the 3 Marvel films. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I think it's not a hard thing to do.
Not really. This one's got a pretty nice story for the characters. Takes full advantage of what Sodor can be in an hour. It doesn't feel like it needs to stretch itself out for learning segments.
No.
Yeah, and it actually has a nice introduction to the character of Stanley, and I like how there's a bunch of other characters up here, like not like, major stuff like Molly and Rosie. They're just kind of like cameos, but I like that. It gives Sodor more life.
Diesel 10 was in that movie.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah.
What bothers me is they're all at the quarry for some friggin' reason.
Yeah. Also, that movie marks Dennis's last appearance.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Dennis in the movie. Yeah.
Bye, Dennis.
Yeah, so I guess overall, just a good movie in general.
Yeah. But yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Good film. Pierce Brosnan was a good guest star narrator.
Yeah, Liam Duffy is probably my least favorite thing about the film.
I would say that too, to be honest. I feel like he didn't give much energy. Like, he did a good job, but I'm kind of happy he didn't stick with the series after. Not to be rude to the guy.
Yeah.
I don't really like his voice too much when it comes to narration. It kind of makes me wish Michael Brandon did narrate this.
Kind of wonder what that would have been like, to be honest.
Right. But yeah, good film. Yeah, that's all to say. 8 out of 10. And now let's get to the first CGI film. And I was first not crazy about it, but then when I saw it, I loved it. It was actually it's Hero of the Rails. This was the only Thomas movie and the only Thomas thing, like the only Thomas like stuff that Sharon Miller did a great job with. I love Hero of the Rails. It's actually one of my top 5 favorite Thomas movies. First of all, I love Hero's backstory. I love the story. I do love how this movie actually has more of the STEAM team with them joining together, helping Thomas and Hero make sure Spencer doesn't know about him. It was great. But yeah, it's actually what's crazy is the opening in the film was kind of similar to like Magic Railroad. It was all a few minutes. It was all happy, and then boom, it went to bad. Like Thomas was Thomas, and the engines were happy, but then when Spencer came, boom, it all went sad. Same thing when Diesel 10 came, everyone was sad. So, but yeah, I love Spencer as the villain. I mean, this is actually the first time we ever have a steam engine as a villain. But yeah, Spencer, Spencer's being Spencer is all that. I love Victor in this one. I actually kind of wish that they would give more backstory about how Victor and Thomas met, because since this movie takes place like after the Marvel series or whatever.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, I love Victor. Actually, Victor's actually like the best CGI character actually, yeah. So in my opinion, Kevin was funny. Slowly, gently.
God, I'm happy they stopped saying that in the show. I got so tired of that show.
Sorry, boss. It's just a slip of the hook. Gosh. But overall, yeah, and the voice acting was good. I love the actually I think my favorite voices are I did love Thomas's voice. I loved Gordon's voice. I do
Yeah.
Percy was great. Actually I think all of them were great. Yeah, all of them were great. So I don't think I have any concerns about them. So but yeah,
What do you think? Go Thomas.
oh yeah, Google Thomas. Yeah, that was a great song. I actually when I was a little kid, I used to dance a lot with that song. So
My cousin actually.
like what? Your cousin like what?
Oh, I said my cousins did the same. They used to dance a lot to the song.
But yeah, it was a wonderful film, and I still love it. But this my DVD is messed up, so I might have to get a new one. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, it's all right. So I was able to rewatch it on YouTube. But overall, yeah, great film. The young like Sharon Miller, I don't know what happened to her after Teal the Rose. I think she started to screw up a lot in the show. So, but
Somehow.
but yeah, especially with Firebox on Fire. But we're not gonna get to that. We're not gonna get to that.
No.
But yeah, overall, I give this film a 9 out of 10. So you two, anything to say?
Matt, you go first. I need to use the washroom, so you go first, okay?
Alright, Hero Rails. I like this film, but I don't know if I'd really say I love it. Like, the general story is pretty entertaining. I really like Hero, and Victor's pretty nice. Though, honestly, I wish I had an easier way of watching UK dub, because when the show switches to CGI, I really don't like the American voice cast. Okay, well, I like Gordon, and that's really it. I don't like the other voices. Really weird and incorrect. Well, actually, I like Spencer and Victor. Well, Victor's way better than he is in the UK dub at this point, at least. Let's say Hero, but he's the same in both dubs, so that's not something I gotta worry about. But the animation's really ugly in this film, I'll say that. The animation's
Right.
let's see, what else can I say? I'm running out of things to say. Let's see, what else do I have? Is something else I can say? I guess I like Go Thomas.
Go Thomas.
I like the song.
Alright. So, alright, that's it? Or you're still talking?
I think I'm done with that. Because I kind of oh, wait, no, there's one more thing I can bring up. But Tripping villain isn't bad. It's just, I'm kind of confused why he is the villain. Like, I don't see what the purpose of him wanting to kill another is. And I like Spencer pulling freight cars the whole movie. Like, he's never seen pulling coaches in this film. Like, this jerk American engine who pulls freight as opposed to, like, the snooty British Express engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love that kind of like a not the race scene in the beginning, but I'm talking about like when Thomas and Spencer were trying to get to Naplet Station first. I did like that.
Yeah, that was
But it's so weird. It's so weird that it took a while for Spencer to catch up to Thomas, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is Thomas this fast than Spencer? Or I don't understand. Like, isn't that weird that it took a while for Spencer to catch up to Thomas before he fell before the bridge collapsed?
I would say yes, but because Thomas got a head start, and when Thomas has his mind on something, he will do nothing to stop from him getting to that goal, which I do like about the character.
Right.
So I would say, I'd say it does stretch it a little bit, but because Thomas did get a pretty decent head start, he was almost at his full speed. I would say not really. But it's a 50-50 thing, to be honest. Like, if this was in real life, then, well, no, Thomas would have lost easily.
Right. But yeah, this film, I give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, good film. And now we get to
Dude, I didn't even get my opinion yet.
Oh, I thought you did. I first thought you finished your opinion.
No, Matt did his opinion, remember? Because I had to use the washroom.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, you go ahead.
No, it's okay. Here are the whales. When this movie got announced, I actually wasn't one of the people that was nervous about the CGI stuff. I was like legit so friggin' excited for this. And when the movie was getting promoted, I was just so excited. I bought the merchandise and the movie came out, and I friggin' loved it. Like, I just friggin' loved it. Like, I love the animation was decent, and I still think it's pretty decent at the time. The voice acting is good. It definitely for Tom, it got awards that went on, but it was good here. The music itself was good. I love Go-Go Thomas. Spencer as the villain I like, but I honestly think it should have been Diesel, to be honest, or even Diesel 10. Like, I just didn't feel right. Or even no villain. They could have done it for without a villain. But anyways,
Right.
Besides that, I like the Steamworks. I really wish they explained that more, but I still liked it. Hero, in my opinion, is the best CGI character. Like, I just love his character, and I just love what they did with him.
Yeah.
And especially that way in the animation, that was beautiful. And I call Burcraft on the whole being for Senjin on Sodor thing, but still a unique idea.
Oh yeah.
But I like the movie overall, and I'd probably say I give it like an 8. Like, I really love it. It's in my top 5 favorite Thomas films. It's definitely not like the best ever made, but I freaking love it, and it's one of my favorites, and I always will. So.
All right. But yeah. So it looks like we like Hero of the Veils. So now we get to Misty Island Rescue. Now this film, I would say I give it a decent, because like Thomas in the beginning, well, actually for the entire movie, I got annoyed with him, especially when he was being racist to Diesel. But Diesel had the rights to take those Joby logs, even though he lost them. But here's what I have to say. Here's what I have to say. I get annoyed whenever Thomas says, "I make great decisions. That's what I was told. I will not be fearful. I'll be brave and bold." I'm like, okay, Thomas, we heard you. We get it. So yeah, that was.
It's one thing Shuri Miller era does that they should have not done the rhyme. Like, my God, whoever suggested the rhyming really should have been fired.
Yeah, but
I thought you were gonna say something else there.
I wouldn't have said that. Come on, this is
But here it is now. I know a lot of people do not like them, but here's to say the logging locos. Now Bash and Dash were meh. But Ferdinand, oh, freak me. That's right. Oh my gosh. Shut up, Ferdinand. That's the only line he says. That's the only line that he ever says. That's it. Nothing.
He says other lines. It's just he doesn't say them often.
I mean, I don't mean like he actually never. I don't mean that's his only line. Like, but you know what I mean. Like that's like his main line. But yeah, I cannot.
Yeah.
And I am happy that they were no longer in the Brenner era, but gosh, I could not. I mean, they're annoying. I mean, both Thomas and the Locking Locals were annoying, but oh gosh, like I think Bash and Dash were good, but Ferdinand was it's like the only Locking Local I really do not like, especially when I was a little kid. Now, I do love them. The music was beautiful, not the songs, but like the soundtrack was beautiful. Now, this one thing I absolutely loved, and that got me hyped for the next movie, and it was Diesel 10's Return. When I saw that in theaters, because I actually watched this movie in theaters. When I saw Diesel 10, when I saw Diesel 10, I was like, wait a minute. Wait, are they serious? Are they about to do a sequel to Magic Railroad or like another Diesel 10 movie? I was like, this better be a fix with Carnal Engines. But I'll talk about that later. But yeah, Diesel 10's Return was it scared me. The voice was freaking, it may not be like Neil Chrome, but it was still freaking evil. The laughing scared me. The music was so intense. But yeah, I was so excited. But we'll talk more about that later. But yeah, overall, Mr. Island Rescue. I do like Percy of how he's so worried about his best friend. Unlike in the Great Discovery, he was worried about him, but in this one, he was like so freaking worried about him. So,
this one makes sense because I was like missing for like a good 3 to 4 days. So
right. So, but yeah, Mr. Island Rescue was a decent movie. But I mean, I think with what's it called? Now Captain was a decent character.
never like Captain, never have, never will. Useless character.
Okay. I think Harold has been like in a lot has been. I think like this is like the only movie with Harold having the most screen time and most dialogue because we never saw more with Harold like during the episodes. So.
But what I like about this is this was Harold's introduction to CGI, and I think they did it beautifully, especially with the camera shot.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Whenever things are fully CGI, then
yeah. I do like Whiff in this one. It's good to see. Yep.
Well done.
But now yeah, I think overall this film was decent. I mean, like there were moments I did not like about it, but you know, it was really cool. It was a fine film. I do have the Shake Bridge, which I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to the other parts of it, but yeah, I think the song, the Misty Island Rescue song was good. But I give this film like a 7 out of 10. All right.
Do you want it next, Matt?
Sure, I'll go. Hang on. Okay, something real quick. I'll be ready.
Take your time, dude.
All right.
Okay, I got it. All right, so Misty Island Rescue. You know what? I actually kind of like this movie.
Okay.
I don't know. I just kind of do. I'll say I think this movie is probably one of the best pacing in like any Thomas film because it doesn't feel like it takes forever.
No, you're right.
Oh yeah.
I don't even mind Thomas too much. Like, yeah, at the beginning with the whole racist thing, yeah, I don't like that. But the rest of it, I don't mind with him. And really, I don't find the logging locos that annoying because they're really not in the movie enough for me to complain.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And I kind of found some of the things a little charming about them, and really, I kind of do wish Brenner brought them back, because I think he could have improved them, you know what I mean? We saw how many things he did with characters like Scruff or Flynn, so...
Yeah,
agreed.
But, you know, I don't know, like, really trashing any character in the series. I'd say, you know, take a break from using them, maybe put them in the background, and then give them a starring role to show that they truly can work in this world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also like the animation. This movie looks way better than Throw the Rails, which looks like a PS2 game.
I'd say Through the Rails was like PS3, but Misty Island, it actually almost looked like theatrical release. Like I mean,
that far.
Well, let me rephrase that. Like not theatrical release, but like you know how some movie theaters were like going to a theater like for a few days for kids to watch, like the $5 thing, like. I'd say something like that, but like, I will agree. Like the animation, especially on Misty Island, is beautiful. Like I think it what took the most time to make. So
true. I also do like a couple of other things in the film, like Whiff. I really like how they did Whiff. I like what else do I like? There's other like the music. Yeah, I honestly do like this movie a little. I I think it's a little underrated, but that's just me.
Right? Is that it?
Yeah, you can go.
All right, your turn, Stitch.
Okay, well, for me, for Misty Island, it's actually funny. Misty Island kind of just snuck up on my radar, to be honest, because I don't know about you guys, but did you see any advertisements for this film when it first came out? Because I saw none.
Very funny.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, because I was on YouTube one day and I just happened to find a trailer for the film because I was just browsing. I just found it. I'm like, okay, this exists. Then it was actually funny. I saw the movie first premiere on YouTube, and it was the only time I actually did not like the film when I first saw it. And it was one of the few times I kind of didn't want to buy the DVD, but my mom was buying for me, so I just said, sure, why not? I'll add to the collection. And it's actually that really showed me the movie how good it was, because besides the toys, I couldn't give a crap about the film at the time, and I was just kind of on the bandwagon of not liking it. But after watching it with Matt, I'm like, my God, this movie is pretty well done. Like Matt said, the pacing is really well done. I really like the animation. Bash and Dash, I think, is pretty well done, really, for sure. Bash and Dash and Ferdinand, I kind of see them as like Bill and Ben in a way, just a little more annoying, but not as much.
No.
Ferdinand actually does not really bother me that much. I do wish he shut up from time to time, but I actually don't mind them, and I really love their designs. Diesel, I like Diesel in the movie. Thomas, I shouldn't say I hate, but it's the only time in the film I can't stand him, and I just really don't like Thomas in the movie.
No.
Besides that, Island is a really fascinating place. Salty's introduction in the CG, that was really well done.
Oh yeah.
Thomas being lost just at sea and on another island is a clever idea in general. Like, I love how they kind of revisit that idea in a way with Journey Beyond, but we'll get to that. Besides that, though, the music in general I love, because I'm a country guy and I love that. Shut up, Matt. But besides that, the Miss Dan song was really good. Diesel 10, I was really excited to see that. It was actually spoiled for me, to be honest, because when the movie came out, there's like a theatrical showing and someone recorded that, and I saw it. I'm like, I couldn't even see it because the camera was so shaky, but I just saw it was Diesel 10. But in general, I saw it and I was really hyped, but at the same time, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I was excited.
Oh yeah.
But it's actually funny. Like, after watching the cliffhanger from Misty Island, I'm so excited for the Diesels. It's one of the few times I was like legit so disappointed with the film. But I loved what they did with him in the cliffhanger, and just got me so excited. And there's not much I don't like about the film. It's really well done. It's not one of my favorites, but it is legit really well done. And I don't understand the hate for it. I really don't. Like, Bash and Dash are not that bad. And I mean, besides the rhyming, I honestly don't mind Tom. He's just a little annoying, and he doesn't shut the hell up. But besides that, the toys were freaking amazing. Just overall, the movie was well done, and I'd say I give it like a 7. So yeah.
Okay, so now Miss Down Rescue is done. Now, after Diesel 10's return, and I was so excited for the next film, and there have been lots of like people have been making like fan made like stuff about Day of the Diesel. Yeah, and I was like, that got me even more hyped for it. But then when I saw the actual movie, now when I try to avoid all trailers of it so I can like save my excitement for it. But then after I saw the movie, I got so disappointed, and it was Day of the Diesels, and get that out of here. I'm sorry, I hated. Okay, here, here's what I say. Be pun. What were you saying?
Let me ask you, did you see Day of the Diesels in theaters like you did Misty Island?
No, Miss Down Rescue was the only Thomas movie I saw in theaters.
Okay, I'll ask you about that more later, but continue.
But Day of the Diesels I give it just like Carnal Legends, I give it a meh. Let me tell you something. This film, I was excited with Diesel 10. I was so excited. Now, before I talk about Diesel 10 in this one, let's talk about the main characters. Now, I do like Percy as the main character. I did not like Thomas in this movie. Thomas was such a freaking a-hole in this film. Just like, first of all, he never cared about Percy usually. He was focused on he was having a date with Elle and Flynn. Third, he never listened to Percy. and and the fourth, he also let Flynn stay in Percy's berth and made Percy cry and didn't even care a single bit. So yeah, I did not like Thomas in this one, but Percy was a good main character in the movie. I did get a little annoyed with him with you complaining, but being whining about how Thomas is like doesn't want to hang out with him and all that. That's kind of immature, but I mean, but Percy's young, so I can understand why. But but now let's talk about Diesel. Well, no, I mean the new characters, Flynn and Belle. Now Belle, I get confused because first of all, Belle needs water to move, just like steam engines. But how come? But I don't get how she's wasting all that water just for fighting fires and has like water cannons. So that confuses me. Now Flynn was okay, and because Flynn is not a train. He's just a fire and he's just a fire truck but with train wheels. That's all. But so yeah, he was fine. Belle now yeah, I talked about Belle. Belle was fine. Now let's talk about the diesels, the new diesel engines: Sydney, Paxton, and Norman, and Den and Dart. Now, for those of you who don't know, they were gonna originally put Splatter, Dodge, and Dennis in this movie, and I was actually I actually wanted to know how they would do in this movie, but they didn't, which is okay, I guess. But I do wish to see wish to see them come back. Well, I don't know about Splatter and Dodge because Splatter and Dodge are not like they don't like Dieselton anymore. So I don't. So this can explain why that he doesn't like. So why why they didn't put him in this movie, but
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say Dennis would be part of the villains because Dennis likes the steam engines and he wouldn't like intentionally do anything bad. He's just a lazy diesel engine. So
Yeah.
but yeah, now let's get to Diesel 10. Now the voice of now here's what I get confused about. Now between Mr. Iron Rescue and Dave the Diesels, the voice of Diesel 10 they sounded different. Now I don't know if I don't know. Yes, they do. Like
Same voice.
it's the same voice actor, but these okay. If you compare Misty Iron Rescue and David Diesel's, the way Diesel 10 laughs, the way he talks, the way his voice sounds, his voice in Misty Iron Rescue sounded more menacing and evil. And the David Diesel's, it did sound evil, but it got a little high pitched a little bit.
Yeah, but honestly, I still hear the same voice. To be honest,
I guess his laugh wasn't. Well, I wish he had the same laugh as he had in the in Miss Iron Rescue, but
does he even laugh in the movie? I don't
he does.
that.
He does, but not.
Yeah, he does.
Just but
like that long awkward pause that happens when Percy tells that awful joke.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh jeez, but yeah, Diesel 10's character was decent. But hold on, before I talk about, hold on, the voice was decent. I mean, not like Neil, but not as good as Neil Clone, but kind of decent. But overall, here's what I think. I think Diesel 10. Now, some of you might agree with me, some of you might not. But I keep thinking that Diesel 10 is trying to get revenge on Thomas because one, he wants Thomas to be here so badly, and when Thomas comes, you can see look at the look on Diesel 10's face when he sees Thomas. It looks like he was like, "Oh, there you are, Blue Puffball. Long time no see." That was the look I was always thinking of that. And first of all, he took Thomas hostage.
Yeah.
So I would say he's trying to get revenge on Thomas of what he did to him in Magic Railroad. That's what I think. But if not, then that's fine. That's what I think. But then I do like his plan. I do like how he wants to manipulate Percy in order to take over the Steamworks to get the top has attention. But I do like his betrayal. Like when they get to the Steamworks, we had this silent moment. And then Diesel 10's like, okay, get out of here, Percy. We're taking over. So that was that was good. But then now, the one thing I do not like about Diesel 10 was when the Topham Hatt came and Diesel 10 started whimpering. Instead of threatening the Topham Hatt or even talking back to him, he just whimpers like a little baby. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? Why? Like, why are you doing this? Like, what are you doing, Diesel 10? Like, you shouldn't be doing this. That's not you. But yeah, I was so ticked off. I was so disappointed. But
Yeah.
I mean, I do like House of Top Hat was snapping on him. I always want to know House of Top Hat would talk to Diesel 10. I was always wondering how House of Top Hat would be whenever Diesel 10 cause a lot of trouble. I always wonder how he would be like, and seeing him so ticked off and snapping at him so hard, I was like, oh, jeez, I've never seen a Top Hat like that. But I actually but aside from that, Diesel 10 whimpering was like a complete it completely broke down his character. So
Yeah.
But then, anyways, now this movie, I do like the scene when the Steam team was would join together and were charging to the Steamworks. That was pretty cool. And actually, I wish we had more of that in future movies or TV shows. But
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that scene when the Steam team were joining together and about to save the Steamworks. I actually wish I wish we had another fight scene like when Thomas, the Steam team against the diesel engines, having a fight scene. I wish calling all engines. I wish we had that, but we didn't.
The problem is if they did that, you don't tell him how to use his claw. And it's something I've always kind of wondered in the Thomas series, would it ever be too graphic to show Diesel 10 scratching one of the engines or Pinchy? Because you see Pinchy grab Mr. Conductor and almost kill him. So I kind of wonder, would it be too graphic to show Pinchy scratching the engines or maybe flipping them over or something?
Oh yeah.
No, not like a loop-de-loop, maybe pushing Thomas on the side, maybe. Would that almost be too graphic? The fans have done it, and I think it's kind of creepy but cool. I don't see it being too scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that think that?
I think that's cool. I think that's cool. I mean, I think I might do that in my sequel, but overall, but yeah, I do love that scene with the Steam team.
Yeah.
Now, so yeah, but here's what I say: this film was actually boring. Even though there was some good moments, this film was actually pretty boring, and there was too much narration in this movie. So, Michael Brand, I don't know. I don't think it was Michael Brand's fault. I mean, it's the writer's fault for telling him that okay, you're gonna be narrating a lot. So I wouldn't blame this all on Michael Brandon. He's just doing his job. So
yeah.
So I would say I would blame this on the writers.
Yeah.
But yeah, this film was. I was so disappointed. I was so all the excitement I had was for nothing. So, but, jeez, but Mind Blocks. I mean, not Mind Blocks. Stitch Underground and Matt. Have anything to say about this?
I know Matt has a lot.
Whatever you can say.
I was gonna say, I know you have a lot to say, Matt. So I bet you want to go last. I'm assuming.
I was saying that honestly, Aaron covered most of what I had to say basically already. So
okay.
Oh, well, I guess I'll go next. I'm pretty sure I stand for what I'm about to say, and a lot of people agree with me. I think this is one of the few times, especially during Thomas, that when the fake parodies came out with Thomas being carried up and Diesel 10 laughing at him. Does anyone remember those?
Oh yeah, I still watch those. I always enjoy that. I think I might do my own. I was actually thinking about doing my own parody of it. So
same actually. But what's actually funny is I actually thought that was real at first.
Yeah.
When I found out what a parody was. But no, I kid you not. Every day I would go on YouTube and try to find new information. I have never been this excited for a movie since I think How to Train Your Dragon 2 actually, and I was just so excited, oh my god, Diesel 10's coming back, that's gonna be so cool. And the trailer came out, and I was excited in that, and clips came out on YouTube, and I was watching, and I was excited, but then I watched the movie all the way through, and for the first time ever, I was so disappointed. Oh my god, I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
And I legit did not buy the movie on DVD until 2 years ago. So, and I was even talking with Matt, he and I both agreed maybe I shouldn't have done that. But anyways, the movie, I don't like it. I mean, there's specific things I don't want. I love Percy as the main character. I don't mind Percy crying because it's nice to see engines with their emotions.
Yeah.
But I think the stupidest thing is Tom's like, my God, I hate Tom's in this movie. Like, he's such an idiot. He's such a moron. He's a retard. He's God, I hate him. And, it's not just that. Like, it's not even Thomas. Like,
Right.
there's I don't think there's like, well, maybe there's a moment or two when Thomas is like, being his nice self. But take that away. Thomas is a jerk in this film. Like, this is not Thomas. This is like James or Gordon, just with Thomas's skin.
Just like it's sorry, go ahead.
No, okay. Besides that, the whole idea of Belle kind of dumb, but I like the idea. Flynn, I honestly couldn't care about because I've never found fire trucks that interesting. I like them, but I honestly couldn't find Flynn that interesting. The new characters like Dennis, well, not Dennis, what the hell? Paxton, Norman, I really liked them. They were cool. I like the music. The story, I like the story. Diesel 10, I don't hate, I don't love, but I really do enjoy. Like, he's my favorite part of the movie. I do find him threatening. The whole Thomas thing, it's funny. I kind of agree with you, Aaron. Like, I felt like, he wanted revenge on Thomas, but I'm thinking, oh, wait, Magic Wheel's not a canon to this, so why the hell is this even happening?
It might be canon.
Who knows, maybe.
Like,
I want to believe it is, but I don't know.
Like, if Diesel 10's in this movie, if Diesel 10 is in this, is still part of Thomas, then it's gotta be, because Diesel 10 is like he was like the main part of Magic Railroad, and if he's gonna be like, if he's still gonna be part of this show, then this must be canon.
Well, just because he's in the movie show doesn't mean it's canon. Because
go in another stream. How about?
Yeah, just because he's canon, so just because he's in it doesn't mean it is canon. Because you can take a character for being in something and not make it canon. Like, the MCU has done that for specific things in the comics and that. Same for DC, but I digress. Besides that, the animation in this movie is ugly. Like, I did not like looking at this film. Besides that, this movie is really freaking annoying. Like, oh my God, not to be rude to Michael Brandon, not at all, but oh my God, I hated the narration in this movie. Like, he did not shut up, I swear to God. He had more dialogue than the engines.
Oh, yeah.
And also everyone gaming up on Percy. Like, no one likes Percy in this movie, and I feel so sorry for him. Besides that, though, like, Diesel was cool. The engine scene with all of them going to Seamless was cool. The story idea, honestly, I don't mind the idea, but I just can't see it being a Diesel 10 idea. I feel like this would be something Diesel or fake, even maybe Dennis or Ariel Burr would come up with. To be honest, I can't see Diesel 10 of all things characters doing this. Besides that, there's actually one scene in the movie I think they really should have done. In the Steamworks, when everyone's quiet and waiting for Diesel 10 to claw Pinchy, I kind of feel like they should have kept the narration out of it, because it could have made a cool, suspenseful scene. And Matt and I actually talked about that. It would have been really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Besides that, it's Tom Had and Diesel 10. I've always wanted to see Tom Had talk to Diesel 10, and I liked it, but I honestly feel like if this was actual Diesel 10, I feel like he wouldn't have really gave a crap and just throw Topham across the Steamworks. Like, I saw a video of that actually, and I thought, this is how it should have been done.
Yeah.
But overall, this movie, one of the worst experiences. Well, not experiences, but it's one of the most times I was so excited for something, and I really, really regretted. Not regretted, but one of the few times I was really disappointed. And that's how the only good thing about this movie was the toys. Like, just in general, I don't like this movie.
Unless you're a Wooden Railway fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Oh gosh.
But,
man.
I give this movie like a 3, maybe a 4.
Yeah, I give this film a 4 out of 5. I mean, like, oh my gosh, I mean,
most of the middle fingers on the planet.
Like, do you know what's the problem? They never call Diesel 10 to claw Pinchy. They don't call him that. They just say Diesel 10 to claw. They don't say Pinchy.
I think it's because it's a Magic Railroad thing. I'm not so sure. I honestly don't know. But
Jeez.
I'll move on the Blue Mountain.
What do you? Yeah, I mean, what you had to say, Masby, what we had to say. So let's move on to Blue Mountain. I'm kind of getting depressed by talking about this.
Yeah. Okay. So look on. All right, hey viewers, people, do you see this? This is mad. This is Dave the Diesel song. I'm gonna boom. Don't worry, it's not broken. It's fine. But yeah, now we get to now we have the final Sharon Miller movie. Thank God. We have Blue Mountain Mystery. Now
She went out on a high also that.
now
The second best Sharon Miller did was like season 16.
yeah. Now, just like with Hero of the Rails, now this wasn't like the best, like great as Hero of the Rails. I would give this film a good. Because one, it's great to see the Nell Gay Gingers come back. I love Scar Lowe's character in this one. Scar Lowe was like one of the best parts of this movie. I love how he became more of this old, matured, and was serious, like a leader or something. And for some reason, when Thomas was trying to tell Luke about, he talked to Victor, and Skarloey was like so ticked off with him, thinking that he told the other engines, which he did, but like he was only trying to help. And then they just start like then they start running away from like chuffing away from Thomas, and I'm like, dude, listen to him, just listen. Jeez, like
that always bothered me.
I mean, like, guys, you've been friends with Thomas for years. Thomas has never done anything bad to you, and you thought that oh my gosh, jeez. But overall, I do like Luke, and Horn. I love Luke and Victor's backstory. I love how we finally get a backstory about Victor. I did for some reason I did kind of cry a little bit when they were talking about when Victor was falling off the ship, and then Luke thought that he would be scrapped, or I mean, I don't know. It got me a little emotional for some reason. But Luke was a good character. I'm not crazy about Owen and that Crane guy.
Oh yeah, him.
The end. Like, I'm not now. It's weird that not every machine should have a face. Like I was like the incline. I'm like, okay, come on. Not everything has to have a freaking face, or like, jeez, oh jeez, I don't know. Diesel in this one. Now I wouldn't say that Diesel was like the main villain in this one, because Diesel hasn't been like had done anything like he was trying to send Luke away from Sodor. I don't know. I don't know about Diesel's character in this one, but Paxton was fine.
Paxton in this movie.
But let's see. But yeah, this was a good film. The story was good. Thomas was fine. Finally, for once in a Sharon Miller movie, Thomas is finally good in this one. So I mean, he was good in Hero of the Rails, but like the other deals in Mystery and Rescue, I did not like him. But then we finally got him back in this movie, so I'm happy with that. I love the Blue Mountain Mystery song and the Working Together song. They were good. Yeah, but overall, this was a good film. I give this a 8 out of 10.
Yeah. You want to go next to that?
Sure. But yeah, I also really like this film. I love the mystery. I love that the narrow gauge engines actually got some spotlight for once. It's easily my favorite of Sharon Miller's movies. But at the same time, this technically was the first time Andrew Brenner had some stuff like, Sharon Miller wrote the film, but like Brenner kind of revised the script. So
that makes sense.
Some things about it, like you can kind of tell when Sharon Miller is the one writing it and when Andrew Brenner is the one writing it.
Yeah.
And I also like the CGI recreations of past events.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I love that. I love how they were going back to those past episodes, or from the classic series, like Thomas goes down the mine, or when a scarf for Percy, or a sad story of Henry. I love that.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, and you guys remember that guy with the hat, the brown hat and the brown clothes, who was trying to flag down Rhaenyra during the chase sequence?
Yeah.
Apparently, that guy is supposed to be Old Bailey.
Really?
According to
That I found hard to believe, because Didn't he want at that station? So
I guess that got boring and he decided to move to the quarry.
I would understand maybe if it was like Zero, because I know he lives near a quarry, but I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't think so
it's
either.
weird. But anyway, yeah, I do really like this special quite a bit. Easily my favorite of Miller's movies, and I mean at this point in time, at least from what we've all talked about, this is easily my favorite of the specials. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I love all the ones up to this point, like not counting Brenner's stuff that we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I really like most of this movie. My few issues include, the Scarlowy scene at the end, Renee's being orange, yellow, that was very pointless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
I'm surprised Prince Duncan using that. I'm surprised they didn't.
Oh, I swear to God, I was so pissed off they didn't put Duncan in the film.
That's a good reason.
They could have put Duncan in the end about the yellow engine because Duncan is yellow.
Yeah, that would be
Duncan, like a real life version. Douglas was going through an overhaul at the time, so like they couldn't really like use his real life basis for preference like the other 5. That's why he's not in the movie. And honestly, I'm kind of fine with that. I'd rather he look nice than be just thrown in CGI. Because like when they brought him back in the Brenner era, they didn't even use real life basis. They just used random pictures of Duncan they found on Google to make his render.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Well, Duncan was. Well, Duncan's character in the CGI series, at least I wasn't crazy about him in the Duncan and the Grumpy Passenger, but I did kind of liked him in the Humbug episode when he's over here complaining a lot, and which that is Duncan. So yeah, Duncan would definitely.
To be honest, it felt like Duncan to me.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, yeah. So you guys like this film, the Blue Mountain Mystery?
Yeah, for me, this is one of the few Thomas movies when it got announced. I actually did not know how to feel. Like I was so excited when they announced now gauge engines. But when I was a kid, I just found these small engines so fascinating. Plus, Rusty helps Peter Sam was one of my favorite Delegate episodes. So it was just so cool to see these guys together, and it got me excited because obviously it's like now every time a Thomas trailer comes out and show explosions and stuff, I expect it to be an action-packed film, and every time I watch it, I'm a little left disappointed, but still enjoying it. This movie, I actually did not know what to expect. I like what they did with it, though. Like, I kind of see it's a really slice-of-life movie with Thomas trying to help this engine and Toby doing his work. That was really funny. Luke being a really good character, I really enjoyed that. Victor's backstory, really well done. I was so shocked when I saw that. I loved it. Again, so upset they didn't add Duncan in, but I'm okay with it because it's better have him look good than him just be thrown in the CG. Diesel, I understand why Diesel was doing this. I didn't mind him as a villain. I loved Pat being in this movie. Pat's was great. Let's see. Both songs were amazing. The animation was really well done. The mystery behind Luke was really quick. An actual good way to bring in a new character. I loved that. The Scarlowy at the end really pissed me off. Like, I understand that. I can see that happening with Duncan. But, like, Duncan doing that. But Scarlowy, no.
It's Rhaenyra. That was Rhaenyra.
Oh, well, Scarlowy who did that.
Yeah.
We mean like when he was yellow?
No.
I'm confused.
I'm talking when the Nailgate engines stopped being nice to Thomas and left because Thomas told Victor.
Oh, okay. I got confused a little bit, but
it's okay. But
I very much tell that to Sharon Miller or Moment right there.
Yeah, you can. I feel like if Andrew Brenner did, if I said his name right, I probably did.
Oh, it is.
Okay, I feel like if Andrew Brenner wrote this movie, I feel like he actually would have let Thomas spoke. And they would have probably done the chase at the end because of Diesel. That I can see happening. Speaking of which, I know it's unrealistic, but I love the climax. Like, it was one of the first few times I was legit on the edge of my seat while watching a Thomas film. So I really loved that. I do find it a little, obviously it's a little unrealistic. I do kind of bullcrap he's trying to hold on to the rails and that, and then Luke can kind of pull him up. besides that, I really liked the film. The beginning was cool. The music in general was just beautiful.
Oh yeah.
With the whole orchestra. Yeah, I really like the film. I honestly don't care about the cranes, to be honest. I really don't. And again, the toys were really well done with this. And just overall, it's a good movie. I need to rewatch it again. It's been a while since I've seen it. But I would say I'd probably give it like an 8.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, good.
Almost done.
Now we get on to the good stuff.
Okay, now that Sharon Miller is out of the way, we finally get to have really great movies. Well, until Brother comes, but hold on, we'll talk about that later. So let's go to King of the Railway. Oh my freaking gosh! I mean, I give it a good. I love King of the Rails. And I love how it goes from like these histories, with how trains were built or the knights and all that. I don't get what the king. I don't get the king part. I don't get the king thing because like they never talk much about king. But I mean I don't know. But overall, first off, having Mark what's his name? Mark something.
Mark Morgan.
Yeah, as the seeing him as the narrator, he was pretty good. And I do like how in this one instead of Thomas being like just the main character, we have Thomas, James, and Percy as like the main characters.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was good. The animation was pretty good as well.
Okay, because you're
a new company. Yeah. I do like Sir Robert. He was a funny character.
Probably the standout character of the film to me.
Millie, if you think about it, Millie's whistle sounds like Lady's whistle.
It is Lady's whistle.
That's why. Jeez, I'm like, hey, that's copyright with Lady Mattel. I'm just kidding.
Copyright with the character we
Yeah, because when I heard her whistle, I was like, wait a minute, that sounds like Lady. But I'm like, all right. But Millie was good. I love Steven. Let's see.
Connor and Caitlin.
Oh yeah, Connor and Caitlin, the two streamline engines. I actually would like to have a full racing scene between those two, Spencer and Gordon. I do love how they were bringing back the whole Gordon and Spencer being rival thing.
That's weird that if you think back to the Miller era for like a long time, I felt like Spencer became Thomas's rival.
Yeah. Right. But I do love the music. I'm happy they brought working together again. I love It's Gonna Be a Great Day. That was a great song. I actually have the I do have the Trackmaster Steven, Connor, and Caitlin. I just need to get it. I mean, it's at my father's house, so yeah, they were good. But overall,
we can say that the toys are worth buying.
Yeah, I do like the So actually, we have another searching scene when Steven he's stuck in that mine. That scene when the chosen trucks were out of control since there was no front engine. That was actually, but I don't know why. For some reason, I started to laugh for some weird reason. I'm like, why am I laughing? It's not even. It's just a runaway. So I don't get what's so funny about this.
I was thinking of the some trucks on, to be honest, for some reason.
Yeah. I was like, Thomas, I think you need to be the front engine, or Percy, you should be the front engine, because actually Percy had the right idea about it, but well, Thomas doesn't listen, but James in this one, yeah, James was good. Even though I'm not crazy about Carrie Shale's voice of James, at least his character was still good in the series. let's see. I do love how.
Also, my first time Jack was in CGI.
Oh, Jack!
That's right.
Jack! When I saw Jack, I was like, oh yes. It was great to see him again. Yeah, I was really happy to see him back in the CGI series. But overall, actually, mostly about this film that I do love is how they brought this whole with Thomas and Percy and James being a team. That's what I mostly love about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do love how they're bringing more history about trains or knights and all that. But that was pretty well done. But yeah, Brent, I mean, yeah, it didn't feel like Sharon Miller anymore. It felt like a new Thomas series, which it is, but at least it has the same voice actors, but like like kind of like the same characters and all that. But at least this time it was established really well. So but overall, this was a wonderful film. I give this a 9 out of 10. All right. All right. You two have anything to say?
Most of your standpoints. Mainly.
Yeah, I'd say for me, like, I really do like the film. The animation, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was its own thing at first because it was a new company, Jamfield, I think I said it right.
It's art. Jamfield wasn't common Children Beyond.
Oh, that's right. It was out. Yeah. They did a decent job. A few goofs here and there, but I liked what they did so far. The acting was good. I'm gonna say this right now. Like until I don't mind James's voice, not at all. But I kind of felt like until was this the same voice from the era or?
That is. It actually begins is when his voice changes.
Yeah. I'm gonna say his voice became better in Adventure Begins because it's Gordon's voice actor if you think about it, and it's the same voice, it's a little less deeper, and the deeper voice doesn't sound right for James.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but it's not my favorite. Besides that, again, the animation was good. I like the characters. I kind of like how it's a slice of life episode, like a movie, how it focuses on just multiple engines, not just one. I like that.
Yeah.
Besides that, though, trying to think. Connor and King were okay. I like Steven, the whole history thing. The one thing I really wish they did was the Scottish castle. I kind of wish that was the castle they focused on because it could have been more history on it instead of just making this new castle. But besides that, though, it was really well done. Like there was some funny moments, and it was really well done. Working together scene was nice. We make a team. Not we make it. No, it's gonna be a great day. I got mixed up. That was a good song, and this is just one of those few Thomas movies I know exist, but I don't have much to say about it.
You're trying to.
Yeah.
Concept art in the general chat for the movie.
Oh, cool.
Very interesting in it. Look.
Well, I'll take that in a bit. One thing I love what they did is they confirmed about Henry's special coal.
Oh yeah.
Henry needs special coal again. No, Cole, not 6 years
Don't tell me he needs special coal again.
No, when I saw that, I was like legit so giddy. That was really cool. But besides that, it's a good film. Like it's not one of my favorites, but I like it. It's really good. Seeing Jack got me excited. The climax with Jack and Tom, Steven and Thomas and Jack, that was cool.
Yeah.
And just overall, it's a good movie. Like it's not my favorite, but I think it's a decent installment. I watch it again in the future. So yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, Matt.
Yeah, I do quite like the film.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys already took my stuff. I'm not just going to repeat what I said.
Okay.
All right.
Before we move on from King of the Railway, look in the general chat. There's something surprising in one of the concept pieces.
Okay.
Okay.
General chat.
I'm gonna
Take a good look.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that.
Oh, Colin, that's right.
Yeah, come in.
Oh man, that would have been interesting.
Oh my. Oh yeah, I actually Oh shoot.
To be fair, it's not like Colin's that cool, so it's like if they didn't return them, I'm not gonna complain.
I actually kind of like how the castle's laid. Like, there's a castle on the hill, but then there's like the station at the bottom. I kind of think that's a better idea, to be honest. But that's just my opinion.
That is pretty cool.
I think it also looks like this Bachman side homie mod. That's kind of cool. Anyways.
All right, next up we have Tale of the Brave.
Oh yes, Tale of the Brave. Okay, now this is another Percy film. Now this one was actually better than Day of the Diesels, at least in this one.
Hard to do.
Exactly.
And it's actually another movie with Thomas, James, and Percy as like. Well, Percy's mostly the main character, but with like it actually adds with Thomas and James. So yeah, I'm happy they did they did that again. Now, I did not like James. I mean, I'm saying I don't like James like of his. Well, I mean, James has always been like this, but like I just don't like his actions of where he's been. He's over here messing with Percy a lot. Hold on, before I get about James. It's good. It's great. I love seeing Bill and Ben.
Yep.
I do like now Marion. She is a little annoying, but she's. First of all, she is a funny character. Of how she loves to like do shoveling and all that, digging and all that. I do love Timothy. Well, we don't know much about Timothy, so I can't say anything about his character, but it was.
Also, I think this movie has the same problem. Like, I think both this movie and King of Railway have the same problem, where like Peter and Steven are the characters you really need the movie for. But the rest of them are just kind of there. They'll get expanded on in the next season, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Reg, the scrap crane engine, the scrap crane. He was fine. I mean, I can't say anything else about them because they barely did anything in the. Because like they never had any supporting roles in the film. So
yeah, they kind of just there for toys, to be honest.
Right.
Well, and they did a lot in season 18 with them, so.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
But overall, now to James's character, yeah. So it's actually like this movie is like about James being such an a-hole to Percy, and Percy is trying to be brave. Oh, Gator! I forgot about Gator. Yeah, Gator was a good character in this film.
My favorite
Gator was good.
How did I forget about Gator? I do love the relationship between him and Percy.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least Thomas in this one wasn't. At least Thomas wasn't being a moron in this one. At least, I mean, that that scene when Percy was like so mad to Thomas and like decides not to be his friend anymore because Thomas doesn't believe Percy about the monster, even though there was no monster. I mean, that got me because we've never seen. Well, we have seen Thomas and Percy get into arguments or Percy getting mad at each other, but when they're best friends, that actually got me touched a little bit because I've never seen we never seen when Thomas and Percy are best friends. We never see them argue or get mad at each other. So well, except in that movie, not movie, that episode, it was in season 12, Best Friends. Well, Percy was mad at Thomas because Thomas didn't tell Percy about the brass band. But aside from that, but yeah, it was like I was like, Percy, are you seriously gonna not be friends with Thomas anymore? Like you've been friends for years. Come on, Percy.
I thought it was pretty dumb.
Yeah, and when Satam had told Percy to wait, and Percy just leaves without Satam's permission, I was like, okay, Percy, come on. Percy would.
Well, I mean, dude, I know Tom has the control of them, but he doesn't have their own mind too. I think Percy was in the right to do that, to be honest.
Yeah, Now, yeah, James was a complete jerk in this film, which I'm fine with because James has always been like this.
I hate it.
Especially,
I cannot see James being a villain.
yeah, I would say that. I do love. That was actually I actually got mad at James when he took that scrap monster and used it to scare Percy. That got me ticked off.
It pisses me off how that exists just for that one scene. Like, I swear, has any fan done anything with that? Like, I don't even like it as a toy. It's just kind of, it's a cool design, but like, why the frick does it even exist?
Toys of that are there anyways.
Jeez, there was one toy with the scrap monster.
Two, actually.
Oh yeah.
Take one and one railway.
Oh yeah.
There's also Capsule, Play Raoul, and Trackmaster.
I did not know they did one in Trackmaster.
I didn't know either.
Yeah, that looks like crap. It's not even like in a flap. Actually, I'll show you what it looks like.
All right.
Yeah.
But overall, now that scene, the scene at the clay pits, the landslide, that was so freaking cool, and I love what Percy did in this. I love how Percy's character has been like growing a little bit with him being more brave, and he going through a big landmine. And when Percy got caught in it, when the landslide got Percy, I was like, oh, wow, that's actually a really cool action. I wouldn't say this is more of an action scene. I would just say, I mean, how do I put this? I would say it's more.
Technically is an action scene, dude.
Yeah, but that was pretty freaking cool, and I love seeing Percy so brave right now when he saved James from it. Now at least there it is. Oh Jesus, it's the new Trackmaster. Never mind. I don't want to look at this. I don't like the new Trackmaster. So, but
that freaking scrap monster super accurate.
It's not even on a fake car. It's just like a tower or something.
Honestly, it kind of looks a little more scary.
I don't know. It looks like a friggin' rejected joy from that Star Wars, to be honest.
Right. but yeah, Tale of the Brave was I would say it's a decent movie. I love Percy as the main character again. I love how James, I did not like James in this one. Thomas was fine. Gator was a good character. But overall, it was a good film. I just don't understand. Every time I look at the DVD covers with Dave the Diesels and Tail the Brave, why is Thomas always in the middle acting like he's the main character? He ain't. Percy's the main character.
Because of marketing.
Yeah.
What's actually funny, in the UK, the DVD for both versions for Dave the Diesels is different. In the US one, there's just Thomas on the front, then the Diesels on the top. In the UK version, Belle and Percy are all on either side beside Thomas, and Thomas is in the front. I feel like they should have done that for the movie. It would have made it more epic, to be honest. But
that was the prototype cover, Kale.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Oh,
the
gosh.
UK cover is the same as ours.
Oh, damn it.
Ugh. But yeah, overall, this film, like I said, it was decent. I give like a 7 out of 10. But yeah, that's all I have to say. All right, your turn.
You go next, Matt.
Alright, but yeah, I do quite like this film. I like its strong character dynamics. It's pretty entertaining. I like the songs in it. I think that they're strong.
I love Let's Be Brave.
Although, the one thing about this movie is that the toys really suck about it. Well, because this is when Mattel got lazy.
Oh yeah, the new Trackmaster. Oh gosh.
The new Take and Play, and then Wooden Railway just kind of became the plastic railway.
Well, at least Wooden Railway was kind of the same as the old one. At least it's not like the wood thing. So.
Yeah, I do quite like Tale of the Brave. It's enjoyable, but also it was the first time that Toby was not in the movie.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Not in the movie.
Oof. And also Oliver's return, like 5 seconds in the background.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like how they returned Oliver. Like, they didn't put too much focus on it. It was just 5 seconds of seeing him in the background. Boom.
Oh, you know what's a fact? You know how there was a Gator episode, which takes place during Tale of the Brave.
Yeah, you know what you're talking about, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty. I never thought of that.
I think it was a good idea, to be honest.
Yeah, I really like that episode. It's probably my favorite of the season.
All right.
Yeah, I think I basically said all I wanted to Tale of the Brave.
All right, my turn.
Yep.
Okay. I hated James in this film. Like, I hated James in this movie. Like, it didn't even feel like James. It just felt like the more jerkier version of James, to be honest. The teasing I understand, but James kind of going this far. I just hated him in this film. Besides that, I love what they did with Bill and Ben and trying to collect pits. That was amazing. I love seeing Oliver. I love the beginning shot with Duck coming out of the tunnel, like how it was back in season 3. That got me really happy.
Oh yeah.
Timothy was really cool. The better Boko, as some people call him, I guess. Let's see.
Marion.
I did not like Marion. I found her really freaking annoying, especially in the next film we're going to talk about. I really found her freaking annoying. Well, it's funny because I'm a person who likes to talk a lot, so you think I would get along with her, and I'm pretty sure I would if I met her. But I don't hate her. I just don't like her that much.
Yeah.
The adventure begins.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
No, I'm talking
I
about.
know what you're talking about. I'm just making a joke.
Oh, shut up, Matt.
When you said the next special, I'm like, oh, that's the adventure begins. I didn't know Marion was that old.
Well.
Oh no, I got messed up. I thought it was switched around with Legend of the Lost Treasure. Okay. Besides that, the songs were great. I love the songs. Well, I love what's that song? Monsters Everywhere. That was really good.
Oh yeah.
I don't hate it. I'm not a big fan of Let's Be Brave, mostly because Matt will play in our group chat and it'll piss me off. But I've kind of gotten annoyed with the song. Besides that, I love Percy in the story, and I love Gator. That scene with Cranky. Oh, that was a great scene. I loved that.
Oh yeah.
That was. That was really well done. I love that scene. The music was really well done. Again, the climax. It's one of those films that I'll say this right now. Just hear me out here. Because nostalgia's sake, I actually would rather watch The Congo Engines over this. Not because it's not a bad movie. It's not. I do like this film, but this is just one of those films. For some reason, I just couldn't care about. Like, besides a few scenes, I just find it kind of not lifeless. I just find it not even boring. I just can never get into the story because it just kind of feels like an episode they could have just done for like a 10-minute episode. But I don't hate it, not at all. But sometimes I just don't really care about this film, which not to be rude, I do like it. But there's just certain things I just honestly couldn't give a crap about. So I don't hate it, but I don't personally love it. It's a good film, but not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I say I give it like 5. And one thing I'll say before we go on to the next one, something that really legit pissed me off was the scrapyard. Like, they basically called Reg's place as the scrapyard. That really pissed me off because that's not the scrapyard.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and the scrap monster, I like the idea, but I just really hate that thing.
It's for toys.
Yeah, it's exactly. One thing I do love is how Thomas manipulates James to go with him to the clay pits. That was funny.
Oh yeah.
Gator's backstory was cool, and his motivation, I like that. And the message is good too. But besides that, it's a good film, but not one of my favorites. So just play it or get on to The Adventure Begins.
Okay, yes, The Adventure Begins. Okay, now this was a movie that Mattel did a success on. This movie, I say this film is, I give it an amazing film. Not only that it's to celebrate the 70th anniversary, not 75th, but the 70th anniversary, but it goes back to the books, to the first Thomas episodes, I was, oh yes, it goes back to my childhood when I saw Thomas gets tricked when I was little. But oh my gosh, I really loved this movie. I mean, first of all, I love that they brought back James with his black, his original color, the black. And James's voice was spot on, like perfect.
Yeah.
This is James. That is James's voice. I mean, I'm not no offense to Carrie Shale. He was fine. His personality as James was great, but the voice does not kind of suit his character. But overall, but yeah, Rob did a wonderful job. Now Joseph May did a great job as Thomas, and he's actually my second favorite Thomas voice actor. So yeah, and I love how they gave Thomas an original color as well. Actually, like with him being a green tank engine with a different number, and hearing like I love how they brought back like some classic music, like with Thomas's music or Edward's music or Gordon. A little
Even
bit.
the Mac Miller contract they brought back was nice.
Oh yeah, that. I don't know. I don't think they did Henry in it, but
No, I don't think they did.
I wish they brought back like I wish they did the sad like Henry theme music.
Yes, that would be beautiful.
Yeah. But I think that would make me cry a little, some maybe. I don't know. But overall, now here's where I do like how they were talking about there was an original number one engine, which was Glenn, the coffee pot engine, and I love how they brought that up. That was pretty good. Now I love how they did with Henry's character, of how I really thought that Henry would be like his original personality, which is like a cynical or a stubborn, kind of like Gordon and James a little bit, if I would say.
Yeah.
But no, they still made him like as he is in the CGI suits, as is like this wimpy, kind warrior character, and that kind of makes sense since in the story it says there once was an engine who was afraid of a few drops of rain, because in the classic series or the books, Henry wasn't technically afraid of it. He just didn't want his paint to get ruined. But with Henry, yeah,
that's one thing they did better, I think.
But with Henry being a warrior in this one, which makes sense because he is afraid of the rain. But overall, I loved it, and hearing the release version music was really wonderful. Hearing the Chosen Trucks song was great.
Love how they did that.
Yeah, especially when in the it was in one of those Thomas stories. It was like Thomas in Trouble, if I would say, or Thomas in the Trucks. I don't know how. But I love that. I love the Tom Hand this one. I would say, what was it? But yeah, I gotta say, Joseph. What I love about Joseph May as Thomas, I love how whenever Thomas gets cheeky, he does a great job with that. Whenever Thomas is cheeky or he's trying to be really useful or maybe impatient sometimes, that was pretty good. And actually, I was actually kind of okay with James being the fourth engine, and not the fourth, the fifth engine before Thomas. Like because in the classic series and in the books, Thomas was the fifth engine, and then James came by. But in this one, but this time James was the the fifth engine, which makes sense because he's the number 5 red engine. Well, the number 5 engine. So that makes sense. And Thomas being the 6th, even though his number is number 1, but overall, yeah, it was good. And that runaway scene with James, I was like, holy, oh my gosh. That, first of all, that's actually like my second favorite action scene in Thomas. And that was so freaking well done. Because it was so, it may be unrealistic, but it was still freaking cool of seeing Thomas trying to couple up to James, or seeing James crash. Like we like in the books or in the show, we never seen James. We never saw James crash. We just saw the aftermath with when he crashed. But
I do agree. I honestly think that out of all the changes they made, this one was probably the best change.
Oh yeah,
and I think it showed, like, a lot of fans loved it, and I'm happy they added it.
And seeing James crash, seeing his paint get scraped, or seeing the stones coming to his face, that got me. I was like, ho 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 ho! Like,
Yeah,
trust
I
me,
cringed when I watched it.
that got me. They did. Oh my gosh! I gotta say, I wish that they would like. Oh my gosh! I don't like. I first thought I started to love Mattel because of this movie, but I wish Mattel would continue with that kind of stuff. Like they did a great job with it, but then they screwed it up in future stuff. But before I talk about those,
Well, I'll talk about that in a second because they actually will go into. But I'll give my opinion on that in a second.
yeah.
But continue.
But yeah, this was a great film. It brought back my childhood. I just loved it. And I love in the ending when Thomas was when he has branch line. Oh, hold on. I forgot the breakdown train. Now I'm not crazy with them having faces or talking or something. I don't know. I just wasn't that crazy about them. Um, but overall, now back to what I was going to say. The ending scene when they were playing the Release Virgin music and Thomas having his branch line. I love how it ended when they were going to the illustration of the Railway series books with.
Yeah.
I love that. That was pretty like well done. And like oh my gosh. This was like the only yeah. Like like I first thought Mattel would finally understand about Thomas, about or what it is, of how it has always been throughout these years, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, overall, I give it a 10 out of 10. One of my favorite Thomas films of all times. But yeah, I loved it. Actually, I love how in the Chosen Trucks and the Release Virgin music they brought the children back to sing, and with the that was cool too. But yeah, I loved it. 10 out of 10. That's it. So, Stitch, Matt, anything to say?
I'll go first on this one. Unless you want to go first, Matt.
I don't care.
Okay. I'm not in unpopular opinion. I think this movie is a little overrated. I'm saying this right now. I don't hate this film, not at all. I legit do really like this film. But this is just how I see it. Just hear me out here. I'm so happy they remade this in CGI and stuff. It was really well done. Love James's black paint, love Tom's green paint. Really well done. Love how he comes to Stonewall. And love how the movie begins. It's a great movie. Really well done. Definitely one of the best. But in my opinion, the reason I am not a huge fan of it is because if I want to watch the original Toms, I can just go back and watch the original episodes. And I'm not saying that this is bad. Not at all. The reason I'm not a big fan of it is I wanted more original content during the early years of the engines. That's what I was really excited for. And I got a little snippet of that with like Henry and Tom's talking about water at the sheds, or even when Henry's filling up, or even stuff with the coffee pot engine. Like,
oh yeah,
it's really well done, and I loved that. And that's what I was expecting more. Which I love the movie. I think it's really. Well, I shouldn't say love. I really like the movie. It's really well done with how they adapted it, especially in a short runtime. Like, holy crap! I'm surprised how well they did that. But I was expecting a little more original content during the engine's early years, which I really wanted to see. But for what we got, it was really well done. The voice acting is really freaking good. Music is great. I love hearing the Tom Hanks theme again.
Oh yeah,
it made me so happy.
Dun 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 dun. I love that.
I liked seeing the whole Henry thing was really cool. At the same time, though, I didn't. Knowing Henry, though, I can never really see him being that type of engine to get ripped up, especially with the pouty Henry we have. But it is what it is. Also, really big missed opportunity. They didn't have him in his original shape, but do I suppose.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Besides that, I love the music. The music's beautiful, and I freaking love the chase scene. One of my favorites. And I should also say when I cringe when James is falling, it's because I'm a sensitive guy. So when I hurt myself, it hurts a lot. So when I see James fall, I just can't help but cringe. Not because it's bad, because it just looks so painful. But I love that. I love the introduction to Annie and Claire, though. That was beautiful, especially because they were using Magic Railroad music, and it was just a really well done movie. I should also say, it's funny you mentioned about them continuing the series, Aaron, because
Mhm.
I don't know if it was because it was a Walmart exclusive or Target exclusive in different parts of the world. But what's funny is they were actually going to continue making these movies if they sold well. But because it was an exclusive movie to specific stores, that's why it failed.
Oh,
So
great.
they actually announced, if this series makes a lot of money, we'll make more. Well, it didn't. So
Well, I forgot. Yeah, Henry's. I was actually kind of disappointed that they didn't give Henry his old shape. Like, it's actually not hard. All you have to do is like there were like a few changes that they did with Henry. Like, you just have to take out these
the side thing,
those two things. And I think his boiler looked a little different. I don't. Yeah, like it's not that. It's not hard. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I may not be like an expert on editing, but I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, but yeah. Matt.
yeah.
A combination of both your opinions.
Okay.
Okay then.
I'm not going to go too much because you basically all said why. I'm not retreading.
Okay. All right. Now we get to Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure, which was another good film. I give it a good. Now here's what I really love about this film. I love seeing Donald and Douglas back. I do love seeing Jack and not the entire crew, like Alfie's back, Oliver's back, Max and Monty are back. It's good to see them back. Now Mike.
Please, dude, because there's a lot to talk about in this film.
Yeah. Now, Mike, Rex, and Bud, I was so freaking shocked that they brought them back. I mean, like, well, they'd never been in the show, so that's a bonus right there. So yeah, that was really like wonderful to see them like in the show. Marion was I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Marion, so I can't like say anything much about her. But Ryan was good. Ryan was a good character. Now Thomas. Now Thomas in this one. In the beginning, I did not like him because of him being all cheeky. I'm used to him being cheeky, but in this, I actually did laugh when he took Gordon's Express coaches, even though it went all wrong. And now Satab had this is the only Thomas movie that I do not like Satab had because
Same.
one, he never. Well, I do understand why he never listened to Thomas because of how Thomas made those stupid excuses and back then. But when Thomas saved Ryan and possibly everyone from the dynamite, when Tom had said Thomas the Tank Engine, I'm like, oh shoot, this shows that Thomas is he's effed up when he went to Tom. I was like, we've never heard Tom had call their engines their actual their full names. So that was crazy. I do like Sailor John in this movie. Skiff was good. Skip. I wouldn't say Skip was a villain because Skip didn't. Well, because Skip was. He was just being manipulated by Sailor John. So. But yeah, Sailor John was a good villain in this one. I do.
Just make sure you what's to say, dude.
But overall, I do love the chase scene between Sailor John and Skip and Thomas. And I love how they're doing this whole. Actually, I think this chase scene had a lot more action, like with the dynamite or the pirate ship.
Yeah.
Like this one was pretty freaking cool. When Daisy came back, I was like, oh shoot, they're bringing back classics. They're bringing back classic characters. So, but yeah, that was pretty. I do like this film. This was a pretty good film. Because when I don't know, the story was good. I don't think I have anything to say about. Yeah, it was a good film. Seeing the classic characters come back was really great. Sailor John was a great villain. But yeah, that's all to say. So, Matt, Stitch, anything to say?
Matt can go first on this one.
I love this film. It's my favorite Thomas movie.
Oh.
It's my favorite of them all. Pretty easy thing to claim, though. I really like Mary. She's very funny and entertaining. I love how she plays into the plot. I like Ryan. He's a well-done character. I loved having the small railway engines. The songs are some of my favorites. See, what else can I say? I like this movie. Honestly, very unpopular opinion. I do like Topham in this film. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to be like this. You know, a lot of the things I can understand him not understanding. Like, people get way too sensitive about characters being jerks to each other. Well, think about Topham's position. He's the controller of the railway. He needs to keep things proper.
Yeah.
And it looks like Thomas is screwing it up. And sure, he's not letting him say it, but he's already had a few run-ins anyway. And because Thomas is there and things are getting screwed up, I can perfectly understand it from his point of view.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, let's see. Also, like how they returned Daisy. I kind of wish they didn't just return Doll and Douglas the way they did. I kind of wish it was like Oliver, where they like had him appear in the background and it was like a lot more subtle. And then we get their season 20 episode, and that's awesome. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that. Sorry, you can go.
Okay. Me. I'm gonna be honest. When I saw this movie for the first time, again, like the trailer, because again, when I watch these trailers, they hype them up so much. So honestly, when I saw the film, I kind of found it a little disappointing. But after we watched it multiple times, I'm like, okay, I understand why this film was good. Like, I like the story. I like Thomas helping out the villain a bit. You know, Sailor John, obviously we know he's a villain, but he doesn't play it that well. And then next thing you know, he just snaps on Thomas, and I just love that. And the whole thing, was really cool. I didn't mind Don and Douglas. I actually kind of like how they joked around saying, "Oh, Don and Douglas, it's been a while since we've seen you. We just went to go get you some more iron." Like, that was kind of clever and funny. I liked how they did that.
Oh yeah.
Besides that, I kind of didn't mind the whole joke of Henry and the ghost boat. That was kind of funny.
Oh yeah.
What's actually funny is I never read the Railway series by the book or two, so I didn't know about the small engines being in the Railway series. So it was a complete surprise to me when I found that out, and I thought that was really well done. Again, I hated Mary in this film. She was so annoying. I found it really cringy. Besides that, though, I like the songs. The songs are really well done. Especially looking over a little engine.
Oh,
like,
yes.
I'm a huge fan of it, but kind of reminded me of like the Little Engines Candy Big Things. That was kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Besides that, Sailor John was a really good villain. I love the action scene when Thomas is pushing the rails and they all fall and he finds that sailboat. That was really intense and cool.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because it's actually kind of based on an actual live. It's like Down the Mine in a way, except this crash is actually more realistic than what the actual event actually happened, because the actual train in real life actually fell down the mine and never came back up. It's still there actually right now. So it's kind of a nice nod to that. Besides that, I looking what Matt said, I kind of do agree on Storm Hat now. I like Ryan. Ryan was really cool. I'm happy how he wasn't like just this guy who just wanted to take over Thomas's job. He was just like this nice, relaxing engine. That was cool. Daisy was cool. Sailor John, really well done. It was a really well done movie. I really liked it and stuff. And I kind of makes me want to know more about Sailor John, which is really cool. And the first time since, Thomas in trouble, since he started freaking police. So that was kind of cool.
Hello.
So, and again, the engine, the last chase scene was really cool, and just really, really well done movie. I definitely understand why it's a classic. Well, not classic, but a popular one. And it was definitely a good way to start with the 75th, what the hell? The 70th anniversary, and I really liked it. And it's a really well done movie, and it definitely deserves all the praise it got.
Oh yeah. Great film. So now we get to the Great Race. You know, it was actually a film. It was actually a film that I liked, but I didn't like at the same time. Well, because one,
Oh yeah.
Thomas, they're doing the same thing with Thomas again. He's being a complete a-hole. Especially,
it's a trope of Thomas. A new engine comes and he's just a jerk. Like it's just how he is.
yeah. I mean,
And
like,
it really takes.
I mean,
Also, the fourth one to pull Andy and Clarabelle.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh same.
That's annoying.
Just like when Emily was pulling Annie and Collabo when she came to Sodor.
Yeah.
Now, like, I mean, now I do like Ashima in this movie. I do. Now the songs were pretty good. I do love Really Won't You Take Me to the Railway Show. That was good. I do like streamlining was good. Be Who You Are was a good one. I do love Gordon's streamlining song. That was good.
Yeah.
And I'm Full of Surprises was good. Now, yeah, Diesel in this one. Well, hold on. I'll talk about Diesel later. But overall, yeah, this was a good film. I love how they brought a lot of international characters in this movie.
Yeah, I guess.
It was good. But here's Vinny. Yeah, Vinny. I could not stand him. Yeah. Now look, Philip. I'm sorry, I don't like Philip, and I don't like Philip in any Thomas episodes or movies because he's annoying. I'm sorry. I cannot stand Philip. He's always I don't know. I prefer Bash and Dash and Ferdinand besides him. I'm sorry. I cannot stand him.
It's funny. I actually kind of prefer Philip over Marion any day because I kind of see myself in Philip a little bit because he's young and still learning, and I may be a grown adult, but I kind of feel like I'm still young and learning stuff. So I really relate to Philip, to be honest, especially with the whole thing with him and Gordon. I freaking loved how they did that.
Oh yeah, jeez. You know, when they did that when Thomas was singing that streamlining song, and he was like in his it was a dream when he was in his streamline design. I was like, he better look like this in the movie. He better look like this, but they didn't. But the only reason that they put that there is because for you know what, toys. So okay. Speaking of toys, that bridge jump scene, it was great, but it was great, but it was not great because they did that scene for toys.
Yeah, it's actually fun. Like, wasn't it true? Like, Andrew Bennett didn't want that scene in the movie, but they forced him to write it into the movie.
Yeah, like, jeez, oh my gosh. But you know, it would, but hold on. But yeah, but you know, I do love Ashima, and Ashima is a beautiful and a kind engine. She was good. I just get so upset every time Thomas is rude to her, and I'm like, Thomas, will you shut up? She said sorry. She didn't mean to push you. Okay, she's not like those engines who do it intentionally. So just chill out, and be friends with her, which he did. But like, oh my gosh.
I love the beginning scene with that. You know how Thomas won't say his name, and so he's like, "I'm Thomas. What's yours?" Like that was funny.
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
And shut up, you piece of crap.
the family being annoying that.
Just my brother. I'll punch him in the face. Maybe I shouldn't say that on stream.
Yeah.
Well, it's family members. We love them, but
yeah.
Not for you to say.
But what was it? Oh yeah. What's it called? I'm trying to remember. Diesel in this one. Nah, I would. I did like I'm Full of Surprises. It was funny when Diesel got that crate on him, and he was like getting lost, and then he was on that ship in the at the end of the movie. I wondered how he got back. I was actually wondering how did he get back.
Honestly, I'll actually explain why I like that scene in a second. But if you actually look in the steamwork when Tom's talking to Thomas, if you actually look in the background, you can actually see it playing. Chasing Diesel in the background. Like, I saw that the second time and I was laughing my ass off.
Oh yeah. But now here's another fact. They were gonna put Splatter and Dodge in this movie, but as like one of those diesels who are just like working or something.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I don't know, but anyway, well, now I do. Now it's actually pretty cool that now these songs that the train sing it now instead of the children or the adults singing it. They just let the train singing.
Yeah, it was the first musical they advertised it as,
Well,
and I agree.
Well, not really. Never overlook a little engine. What they the trains were singing.
Those are like minor. Like this was a full-out musical.
Yeah, this was a full-on musical, is what they advertised it as.
Yeah.
Like, they still didn't even we're making this movie a musical first time. Like, okay.
Yeah. Now the Flying Scotsman. Oh my gosh, I love the Flying Scotsman, and I love how they bring this whole brother rival between him and Gordon. Oh my gosh, I've always loved that, and it's so funny that he's calling him little brother. Like Gordon always treats himself like he's like the biggest engine, and like he's always putting down on little engines. When we have the Flying Scotsman who puts him down a lot and calls him little brother.
I just love that because, basically Gordon says we're exactly the same age. Like, okay. Is that it though, dude?
What?
Is that all you have to say?
No, I'm not done with it yet. But
Oh, there's even more. Okay.
no, I mean there was a lot of stuff in this movie. That was pretty funny. After the bridge jump scene, it was funny when Hero and Cindy were coming. Tom was like screaming and then Thomas says, "I need to stop doing that." That was like, this shows. I think Brett put that on purpose about how they forced him to do the bridge jump scene and all that stuff. I think when Thomas said, I really need to stop doing that, it feels like that. It's kind of like I'm pretty sure Brett did that on purpose with what Mattel was doing to him, but.
Honestly, I kind of saw that, Tom's being on the same line as every engine and him almost crashing like how many friggin' times. That's kind of how I saw it as.
Right.
Yeah, Thomas almost dies in that movie like 9 or 10 times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He almost died so many times in that film. It's kind of ironic.
That makes me wish he did, though, so that the future wouldn't happen.
Oh, boy.
I'll give that thought in a second because I want to say something about that. So, go on, dude.
But I'm almost done. It was actually, I do love how in with James and Emily and Gordon, I love how I love the changes they did to him. I love Gordon, like the streamlined Gordon. He was pretty cool. I did like James and Emily's design. And it was so funny that James thought that he was gonna win, but he didn't. So that was funny.
Yeah.
And Thomas like trying to like sacrificing his win to let Ashima win. It was cool. But yeah, this was a good film. The music was amazing. I love Ashima in this one. I'm not crazy about Thomas in this one, but I give this film 8.5 out of 10.
Right.
So all right, so Stitch, Matt, anything to say?
Matt can go first because I have some stuff to say after.
All right. I'll be honest, pretty indifferent to this film. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just kind of. I like things in it. I don't like things in it, but it balances out so perfectly that it's just hard to talk about.
Okay.
One thing I'll say is I really wish Gordon was the main character. Thomas.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
The story is so generic and boring, and because we've seen this story millions of times, this movie is an elongated version of season 11's Dream On, basically.
Right.
At least some of it has.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It all happens the same way too. Thomas tries to get stronger, faster, shinier. I think I'll forget what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Also, the bridge jump, that thing can go go screw and stuff, but I hate that scene so much. Really unreal. Well, okay, I'm not like one for like one-to-one realism, but come on, that's like 10 times over, and the scene's just there for boys, and it adds nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I like the songs, and Vinny. I actually like Vinny. He's a great. I like him as an antagonist.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, there's Asthma, but here's about Asthma.
Who?
Asthma.
Who is she?
The Indian one. Asthma.
Oh,
There's a real name called out. Okay, but yeah, I think I'm done. I don't got much to say on this one.
okay.
Okay. Okay, for me, I really like this film. This is like in my top 5 favorite Thomas films. I like the idea story, but I do agree it should have been based on Gordon. It would have been such a cool idea, and they could have, I don't know what they do with the TCC with Philip and Diesel 10, but do with Gordon and Philip. That could have been a nice relationship between them as friends, or maybe even brothers. That would have been cool. I like Ashima. What bothers me with Ashima is the way how they described while making her. They described her as this nice, cute character, but then they added sexy to her, and I really
gosh. Okay. Yeah.
No, like I was watching the behind the scenes, and one of the words they used to describe her was sexy, and it was the first time she's talking about Thomas, and I'm like, okay, what are we watching again? So,
oh gosh,
bothered me.
I hate that. I don't like that.
Besides that, I'm so sick and tired of the Thomas New Engine hating, taking Aaron Claire. We're like, God's sakes, yeah, he's your coach, but if you're not doing your freaking work, then it's gonna happen. So Thomas, piss off. So
exactly.
I just hated that so much.
Like,
I love the songs. I love the songs. Mashima, I like. I'm gonna say this right now. The bridge jump scene, it's dumb, but I love how dumb it is because I'm one of those guys that I don't. Okay, how do I say this? I like it when it's realistic. But if you just turn your brain off, I don't mind the dumping. I don't mind the not being realistic stuff. But again, that's only when I turn my brain off because kids will do that with their toys, and it's a cool idea. But it's more like a Chuggington thing. But like in general, it's a dumb idea. I find it kind of cool. It's one of those. It's one of those dumb scenes that shouldn't exist, but I like it for how dumb it is. Besides that, one thing I actually love about this film is the ending. In my opinion, I think this is how they should have ended the series because Thomas learns, which is a good lesson. I love the message. Thomas learns to be himself. Not many movies teach that, and I really love that idea, story and the message with that. And Ashima learns to. And Shima teaches that they're both friends. And, it ends with a newspaper of all the engines, even Toby, which he didn't even say anything in this episode. Movie side. But and also the whole thing with Diesel didn't need to exist, but it happened.
Yeah.
But also Diesel ends up on Crate. Diesel ends up on the ship, which I think is a really funny idea because again, that's why I think this, in my opinion, this should have ended the series because Thomas learns to be himself. The main bad guy, which is Diesel, is gone, and it's a good way to end the series, and it's a good message. And I said it to my mom actually. A YouTube I watched, Q&A. I don't remember the name. He said this is how the series should have ended, and I agree. I think this is how the series should have ended, and I still see it as that. Everything after that, it continues, and I don't mind it. But honestly, I really feel like this should have ended the series. I feel like it was a great movie for that.
Yeah.
And another thing that pisses me off though is why is it called The Great Race? It's the Great Railway Show they're going to. The only thing I think they didn't call it because they didn't want fans to get too excited over the book, which I understand because they're totally different things.
Right.
But overall, like I really liked the movie. The songs were great. Animation was wonderful. Bridge jump scene dumb, but I like, and it's just one of those movies that it exists, but I legit love it. It's a really good movie, and it was the first time I got Thomas on Blu-ray, so that was cool.
Oh.
And just overall, Franz Gotham is cool. Like, it's just the only thing I like about this film. Just overall, what was that new station that got introduced?
Biggerstown?
Biggerstown. That was really cool. I love that. Just overall, I love this movie. It's one of my favorites. So, it's definitely not the best ever made, and I don't mind Thomas in it, but he's an idiot. But overall, I really love this movie. It's a great movie. I give it like an 8, maybe a 7.
Yeah. Okay, so we all right, we sit down.
Right?
Now
Screw this movie.
Okay, hold on. Okay, now we got to the next film, which got me now this is when Mattel starts screwing up with Thomas. Journey Beyond Sodor. Now here's what I have to say. Though here's the one main thing I don't like about this movie is bouncing. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's like another part of unrealism. Like that is a big mistake. First of all, this is not Chuggington. This is Thomas. This isn't Cars, Mattel. This is freaking Thomas the Tank Engine. This is that's what Thomas is, and it's supposed to be kind of realistic. Now, no, aside from the bouncing, this was a good. I give this film a decent. Because the experimental engines, Lexi, Fergus, just kidding. I mean Theo, and Merlin, they were fine. I guess. Lexi, I don't know who's more annoying, Marion or Lexi, because they're kind of similar. But overall, now I kind of do like the this whole thing with Thomas and James being rivals, just like in Red versus Blue. I did like how Thomas was about to sing a song, but then James interrupted and was singing somebody has to be the favorite. Somebody has to be the favorite, which is going back to James being a show off as he's always been. And that was kind of now when I saw Rosie in his new paint, I was like, wait, what? That was crazy. So well, yeah, that was pretty I actually do like Rosie being red for some reason because I don't know. I always love Rosie with her being her regular color, but I don't know for some reason I really love her red color. But aside from that, I love Frankie and Hurricane. Those two were good villains, even though they became villains for some stupid reason. They just wanted to help, but they could have done it better without trying to train nap engines or something.
Oh yeah.
Now the songs were good. I actually kind of got annoyed with it was that experimental engine song. I don't know what it was called.
I hate that song.
I'm sorry. I got.
Don't mind that one.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Beresford. Okay. Yeah. I cannot.
That character scrubs.
I got. Okay. Whose Thomas was annoying? Now I do like the chosen. The chosen trucks in this one was it was actually kind of funny with the chosen trucks. First of all, the chosen trucks dancing. I'm like, okay, stop.
Did they go on an acid trip?
I mean, I love how the chosen trucks finally get like they're not like they have different voices. They have the different person. Well, they have the same personality. They're messing with Thomas as usual, as what they usually do.
We got to see Slate Cars on standard gauge track, so that was cool.
Oh yeah. Beresford is annoying. Now this is weird. When Thomas saw Beresford again and he grabbed Thomas with his hook, I was like, how? How was he able to?
Yeah, I understand that.
The bull crap.
I'm like,
dumb. If this cat would have ripped right off, Thomas would have drowned to death.
Oh yeah. But I was like, how was he able to hold him with like a little bit with his hook? Because Thomas would have been Like he actually, how's Barefoot able to like swing his hook and catch Thomas perfectly? I'm like, that's some unrealistic bull right now.
Holy crap, is what it is.
But overall, this was it was a decent film. James was good in this movie. Thomas was good. Mostly just focused on Thomas and James. Well, about him these two being rivals and trying to act like they're better. I did like the ending when they would turn soda and we had that nobody has to be the favorite music, which was good. And that was fun. That was funny in the ending when Henry came in and said, "What did I miss?" That was funny. But overall, now I did now.
Shut up.
Now, you know that remember this in the kind of this chase scene when Thomas was grabbed by the magnet and he almost died.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that in the trailer, I was like legit scared out of my mind.
Me too. If that happened, I was like, okay, you know what? Frick Mattel, frick Thomas. I hate this movie. This would be the worst Thomas film ever if they did that, but they did.
What's funny in the book, like they changed in the book. In the book, they actually say Frankie and Hurricane did that to almost kill Thomas. They legit say that in the book.
What?
I wish they did.
Yeah, in the book, they actually say like Marion, the two bad guys. I can't remember their names. I just said their names.
Hurricane and
Thank you. Yeah, they legit grabbed Tom. They said they used the magnet to grab Thomas and hang him over the lava, and they're laughing that he's about to die.
That's messed up.
They actually say it in the book because I was so excited to watch the movie. And it wasn't out yet. The book was. So I looked at it and I read some of it. I'm like, oh my God, is this film going to be rated PG-13 or something? In the movie, it's not like that. So I'm thinking, what am I missing here? Because they actually say that in the book. They're actually laughing at Tom's about to die.
Wow, that's messed up.
Yeah. And that's in the Thomas book. So clearly something freaking happened when this movie is being made. Like, what the hell, Mattel?
No, Mattel. I'm sorry. Mattel is stupid. I'm sorry. Mattel may hate me. Mattel may hate me for saying that, but I don't care. I don't freaking care. All right, Mattel, you're messing up. You're messing the entire show up. So you know what? I don't care if you hate me or if you hate the older fans who don't like you. We don't care. Okay, what we're saying is true. I'm sorry. Jeez, but yeah, this film was decent. The story was okay. It went low a little bit, but overall, I would give this film like a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. Matt, do you want to go next, or should I?
Sure, I'll go next. I don't like this movie. I don't like this movie very much. Okay. 2017, I would say I moderately liked the film, but now I really don't like this movie. This is one of my least favorites, actually.
I would say, you kind of told me when we watched the movie, it's kind of making you a little depressed, actually, for what I remember.
Honestly, the more I watch this one, the more I dislike it. I go back to this one trying to be like, oh, yeah, this is a strong thing for the Brenner era. But then when I watch it, I'm thinking, oh, no, wait, this is the opposite. This is the start of the downfall.
Which is funny, because Miller, Andrew Brenner wrote this.
Well, he also wrote Bubba, so...
Yeah, but he was kind of forced to do that, so...
True. I don't know. This movie, it's not the story that's the problem. The story idea is a strong one. I actually really like the story idea. It's just how it's executed.
Right.
The more wackier and cartoony physics of the movie just don't gel with me. When Thomas is in the bushes with the other experimental engines, that was a weird scene. Okay, they're not even on tracks, and then there's other stuff when Beresford is holding up Thomas, and there's other moments. I'm trying to think of other moments, and then there's the bouncing, which I feel about that.
Gosh.
And honestly, I feel like you could have literally scrapped Lexi and Theo from this movie. We only need one experimental engine, and it should have just been Merlin. He's the only one voiced by a a celebrity, and he's the only cool one. So
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that Merlin is actually based on an actual friggin' engine, while the other two are not.
Yeah. But honestly, I'd love to have seen Merlin more. He was a character I was actually starting to like, but he doesn't do much in the film.
He barely appears like for a minute. I swear it's at least a minute, if that.
Exactly. Right.
I'm making him like a huge mystery at first, but like, you know, it's just like he's not even in the movie for the most part. And then like the chase at the end, like, oh my god, I was just so not on the edge of my seat with that. I was like, let's just stop, because it was so stupid.
It wasn't
like,
so. It wasn't so entertaining.
And everything was so convenient that it happened the way it did.
Right.
He didn't feel like much chase to be honest. It kind of felt like they were just playing tag or hide and seek.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, Thomas is about to die, but wait, Theo pushes some trucks to save him, but oh no, James is being chased by Hurricane, but here comes some freight cars coming in, they moved in front of him. It's like, and then Frankie crying at the end. Perfectly.
Oh my gosh, I cringed so hard when she started crying. I prefer Percy. You know,
so much.
at least when Percy cried, at least it wasn't like so like at least it was just like at least
Yeah, I just want to shoot her in the face.
gosh dang it.
And honestly, it's like how I feel about where the series is going up to this point. So,
Well, I mean, there's no coming back now. We're screwed, basically.
yeah.
But yeah.
I think that's the best I gotta say. Screw this film and really hate it.
Okay.
Stitch?
My turn, I guess. Okay, I actually have some stuff to say about this film. I remember when this film was announced, I was legit so excited. I was thinking, this was around the time when I didn't like Misty Island, so I'm thinking, oh man, this is going to be a better Misty Island. And for those of you who don't know, the original plot was James getting kidnapped, not Thomas.
Oh.
The original story idea was actually James was going to go to a yard, to my knowledge, and get kidnapped. So there wasn't, so basically kind of like a fan film, I guess. So, so I was so excited for that. And then when they switched it around, I'm like, okay, cool. But the animation, because this was when Jam Field started. The animation was okay, was good. I liked it, but obviously you can tell they did not finish some of it.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like Beavis Foot, but I actually didn't mind the song. Mr. Mindblock's actually mentioned that the songs. I don't like these songs. Like besides who's Tom. Actually, let me rephrase that.
The one that everyone hates the most is your favorite.
Well, I should rephrase that. I don't mind the songs, but they're no way as how it's good as A Great Race. I honestly think it's the Hot Place in Town is decent. It's a little overrated in my opinion. I Want to Go Home kind of chokes me up here and there.
Oh yeah, that song. Yeah.
Only cool thing about that is when every engine appears but Duck.
And Diesel 10, and somehow Rusty's on now Standard Gauge track.
Why would Diesel 10 be like Thomas's fond memories? Like,
I don't know.
Stitch. Mr. Mindblock said, Kale, why you?
But deal with it, dude. You're a great man, Mindblock, but I have my opinion, so sorry.
Okay. So you're done? Hello? Oh, I think I lost connection again. Hold on. Okay. Hello?
Oh, thank you,
All right. All right. So are you done or are you still going?
No, I still have a little more to say.
Okay.
Besides that, the mystery leading up to the yard was really cool. I do like what they did with Hurricane Frankie, especially the chase scene when Thomas breaks out. Speaking of which, I want to say this right now. This is the only Thomas film I legit felt uncomfortable watching. Like, Thomas being held captive, I kid you not. When I was watching this movie, I had to pause it with how uncomfortable I was feeling. And it's actually also kind of interesting. If we remember, this Thomas film, they had such an idea for this. They actually made it longer, which was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
But, this movie, it's a mixed bag. Like, there's good stuff, but there's also bad stuff. Should have kept Merlin, scrapped the other two. Songs are okay. what they do with James was really well done. I also like the whole Dogs and Grace, and like it kind of shows like everything's not gonna be cheerful and happy. I like that. Besides that, like I like the movie. It's definitely not the greatest, but I like it, and it's. I definitely hate the bouncing. The songs are decent, and this movie's just all over the freaking place, and I like it, but honestly, it definitely really showed the show was going downhill, which sucks because season 22 and summer 22 and
don't.
season 1 and 20 were well done, and
Yeah.
I like this film, but it definitely could have been better. And
before we move on, I love how like the season 21 comes before this movie, but it makes no sense.
Right.
Edward still is in Tidmouth Sheds and Journey Beyond. Cranky, Carly's not there, even though she should be. And it's like there's so many continuity issues because of that. Like,
right.
Why doesn't season 21 take place after? It doesn't really hurt.
I don't mind this movie. I like it, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. I'd probably give it a 6. And there's a lot of things I like about it, but it could have been better. And sadly, it showed what the future became, which was a pile of shit.
Okay, well, all right. So now, here comes the worst, or I wouldn't say worst, but my least favorite Thomas film of all times. And here it is. Big World, Big Adventure. I'm sorry. I give this film a bad. I'm sorry. I do not like this film. I hate it. Well, I wouldn't say I hate it, but I just don't like this film. I did not like Thomas in this one. Same thing with Ashima. He's an a-hole to the new characters. I like Nia in this one, but I can't stand Thomas being such an a-hole to him. I don't like Ace. The story is like, oh, I get what they're trying to do, but it's like, I don't get this. I don't care. We don't care about this. Like, oh my gosh. Now the songs were good. I do like where in the world is Thomas. What I loved about it, they were mentioning every single accident, like from the classic series or in the hit era, or in the Sharon Miller era. I love how they were mentioning all that in the song. Yeah. That was pretty cool. And I was actually thinking about doing a remake song about that, because I really love that song. That was pretty good. What's it called? Now it's good. It's good to see Young Bao in it. I actually the avalanche scene was pretty good. Now, yeah, Thomas is being the same person as you, like with Carnal Engines or Misty Island Rescue or David Diesel. He's been the same. He's acting like the same thing every freaking time. He acts like an a-hole. He always thinks that he's like he never learns. He's saying that I don't need any help. I can do it by myself. Now I understand why, because Gordon was teasing him and all that, but that doesn't mean. But you should already learn that by now.
The same for Machinima calling him little. I do agree with you, dude. There's one thing I don't like about what they're doing with Tom. Like they keep resetting his character. Why are we supposed to look up to Thomas again? He's an a-hole.
I mean, they're all a-holes. It's just we're supposed to do the opposite of what they do.
Why should we feel bad? Why should we feel bad for Thomas after we've seen in previous movies or episodes with him being an a-hole? So why should we feel bad of what he's doing? I don't. Ace, okay. Ace is supposed to be like the main antagonist. I don't like Ace. I love Free and Easy, but I don't like Ace. That's it. I love Free and Easy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's kind of like a combination.
He's like the McQueen. He's like the McQueen, but hateable.
If Light McQueen was in this movie, like if the actual Light McQueen was in this movie, then I would be fine with it. But
that's what I want to see.
Nick, first of all, Ace is a cocky, selfish, rude, and careless brat. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We could switch out brat with the T word.
Yeah, but we can't.
Oh yeah. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to.
I'm not gonna say it.
No, we're not gonna say it. Just go ahead and continue.
But